Hey, Wazzox! You stink stronger than you strike! Down the drain and through the crud, the racky sneak when no one should! If only Cousin Ockery could have seen that cauldron go down! Hey, here's where the action is! Great heroes, manling, who fought back to back against the greenskins.
Greetings, ladies and lads, indeed. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've been streaming here, my god. Thankfully I was able to take some time to set everything up properly again. Whew, didn't want to have such an embarrassment of a beginning as usual. But we are indeed back, and we are so back. Today we are going to paint two heroes from the Cursed City. Mainly speaking, as you saw already in the well, hello. That's right. Hey, it's good to see you, man. Mainly speaking, Dagnai, Holdenstock, the guy who you saw in the intro. That's an old intro from an old video of mine, which I've put out a couple of years ago, showing you how to paint this very guy in the very scheme you see here before you. And of course, we're also going to paint Qulathis, the Exile. This is early ASF. Oh yeah, I know. Again, as per usual, till the month of October, I just really have to take every and any time slot that I can. And today from 2 to 6 p.m, roughly roundabout there, is the time slot that I can afford today. Painting Qulathis and Dagnai, of course. However, I want to quickly, to show you what we're dealing with, I want to raise your attention once again to the intro for the lovely Woodelf herself. Hang on.
Teaming up with a bunch of savage mayflies to dethrone an undead demigod. Loex surely does love a good gamble. Oh, I'm sure a third nostril would suit your face perfectly, darling. Names should not be told easily. You may call me Qulathis.
Isn't that fucking cool? Back in the day, I could not believe that I was able to get an actual voice actress to help me put up the intro for that painting video. Alright, but now the real fun begins. Oh, quite a lot of people are already here, damn, nice. Are you guys experiencing any problems with the stream? He's telling me there are some problems, I don't see anything on my end, who knows? Rice says, well then I guess you're going in the background while I'm working. Well, fair enough. Again, I wouldn't take this, this time slot if it could be avoided. But unfortunately, this is just how I need to roll these days to be able to stream at all. And with that, we want to get right into the action. Hang on. While I'll untangle my microphone. Come on. You know, the usual. It's been really quite a while since I've been streaming. I think close to like maybe a month or even two. I even missed the Warhammer preview, the Warhammer reveal, the newest ones. I haven't had a look because I do want to try to get Dagnai on the horn once more to have a proper look at it. Music is loud. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry. Again, I want to try to get him on the horn again and have another look. The only thing that I do know is that I, as an Imperial Guard player, have once again been catered to, because I'm just, it's just an awesome faction, and good to see that we've gotten once again another vehicle. Not quite a tank, but a half-track, which I think looks quite lovely. I haven't had a proper look yet, but you know, the overall shape has plopped up on Instagram once or twice. So I did see that. Alright. That's understandable. At least my time slot tomorrow is fairly good for me. Oh yeah, you've been streaming as well. I've seen that. Haven't had the opportunity to get a proper look in, and also did not manage to comment thus far because I've had quite some full weeks, especially around Easter. And I think yesterday, on Tuesday evening, I sent in my last assignment for this semester. So yeah, that was also something that I had to deal with. But you know, that's all fair and good. Now I just need to properly announce to the university that I am indeed trying to make my diploma. Of course, the diploma itself has been, you know, going on for quite a bit of time. I've made some quite good progress. I'd say the book is around like, the story itself is like halfway written, but of course that all needs some revision as well. So I think we're looking about like maybe 30% in terms of the book. And in terms of the illustrations, I'd say that at least all the characters are finally fully designed. And worked out. So we'll see how that goes. Today, however, I want to finally be able to paint some Warhammer, starting with Dagnai Holdenstock and some nice Troll Slayer orange. We're starting very bright with this man. Rice says, yeah, tomorrow's stream will be very, very chill. Just gonna play with the map editor. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. I've had a couple of people and even an author of fantasy works come up to me and, you know, offer me some advice. Some telling me about a couple of map editors as well to get my stuff down for the book. However, I think, you know, I didn't want to use those simply because I do want to be able to hand them in for my diploma, and I feel like it would be a little bit cheating if I used an editor. What's that? Oh yeah, sure. I've gotten your message, Rice. Yeah, sure. It's always a little bit different with the music that I'm using. Though I think for the Cursed City, it's a little bit of a return to form. You know, a little bit returning to the fantasy tavern atmosphere. I think that's fine. Alright. Thankfully, I do have these little guys right next to me, so I can see what I painted how. Is it all orange? Alright. 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 Speaking of music, I think we're just gonna go with some Divinity Original Sin 2 soundtrack. Oh, no. Soundtrack, please. There's like 1-2 hour. Ah, there we go. Alright. How's that work? How's the music? I think I can tone it down a little bit. Tell me if that's still too much. Problem is with like soundtracks and stuff is that the music is always like fluctuating, so I do have to have, you know, I do need to be a little bit aware of what music is actually playing. Alright. There we go. Aha! Damn, you've been busy? Yeah. I've been a busy bee. I feel highly motivated. I'm highly inspired. Because the last time I did have some downtime, but I was unfortunately out the house, I was able to start watching TADC, the amazing digital circus. And it's very, like, it's incredible how good the writing in that show is. I was not prepared for that at all. And I'd even go as far as to say that the writing was so good that through osmosis, a little bit of that quality writing, at least I hope so, you know, seeped over to me. So I felt very inspired to do some changes in my own story, mix it up a bit. It even influenced, you know, the fan art as well. I've rarely seen such high quality fan art in any fandom. And I've just been, again, inspired. I'm looking at it from an entirely different angle, a little bit more abstract, a little bit more, funny, no? Abstract, with TADC as my inspiration. A little bit more, you know, symbolism, heavy on the symbolism side. Usually I have the symbolism very toned down. But yeah. Okay, the music seems to be quite loud, hang on. Be gone. I haven't painted anything for quite a while. Yeah, well, same. I haven't even painted anything, like, recreationally. Because I do really not have the time. It's been very busy, especially now with the new hours that my girlfriend has to work and be in the university. Every, like, Monday through Tuesday, we're literally like 12 hours in university, or even longer, due to the way that her timetable is, you know, has come together. And I just accompany her, you know, give her some some emotional support, bring her coffee to her lectures, and in the meantime I'm just working in the library on my own stuff. It's worked out perfectly so far. TADC is awesome, but the fanbase, Jesus. The fanbase is crazy. Though I do want to be fair, I only hear about the fanbase being crazy. Even on Reddit, the people, at least the posts that I see, are rather normal. But I do hear a lot of fans complaining about other fans. You know, which would embody the worst versions of the fandom. That's, I think, fair. I think a show, I don't know, this might sound a little bit weird, but I think a show like TADC, even from just like the art style, I know, I don't want to seem rude, but it's like shows like these that seem to attract some really weird people sometimes. It's very similar with FNAF as well. I don't know what it is exactly. Not necessarily excluding myself here. I mean, I'd study something productive. I mean, I'm literally an art student, you know, so it's not like I'm fully there as well. But that's just how it is. Okay, next up we need some blue. I did actually have a look at my own speed painting guide to see how to paint Dagnai again. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I do wanna, like, I'm about to complete my last cursed city and then finally put it up for sale again. And after that, I'm not sure if I do ever want to paint a cursed city again. But, you know. And I kinda, you know, now that the diploma is coming to an end, now that things are starting to get real, and we also want to move closer to my parents. Not to my parents, but like the same region roughly, because we like it there a lot more than here. There are gonna be a lot of costs that we'll have to manage. I've also gone down with like the prices for my commission, though those were overpriced anyway. The only reason they were so expensive... My god. Is it so loud on your end as well? The only reason those were so expensive in the first place is simply because I didn't have the time to realistically do anything of those. So I was like, okay, it would be a massive inconvenience for me to paint this stuff. So I'm just gonna raise the prices to an unreasonable amount, so that if anybody places an order, at least, you know, I'm really... I'm getting very well paid, but, you know. It's a surprise to no one. I think I sold like one thing in the last 2 years, which is fine. I'm not complaining, again, it's a self-made stuff. But still. Gotta come down again and hustle. Hustle and work. Alright. Well, currently there's people losing their absolute minds over something that happened in stream from several years ago. Not to mention the drama with Jax and Ragatha. Stands threatening the creator and actors because they want the show to end how they want it to. Yeah, the fandom is reaching My Hero Academia levels of parasocial. Yeah. I've heard a lot of that stuff. And then all the drama about, you know, the final act releasing to cinemas and only 2 weeks later releasing on YouTube. I myself am lucky enough that now TADC appears to come to Germany as well. I have to drive... I have to ride the train for 2 hours to see it, though. I mean, fair enough. Still, I'm fairly certain that I'll watch it on June 4th when it will come out. And if not, I'll just leave the internet for like 2 weeks. Not like... it's not like I can't do anything. Like I'll miss anything. I've got enough stuff to do with my diploma anyways. Nobody says, just joined again. Which drama are we talking about? We're talking about the drama in the TADC fandom, The Amazing Digital Circus, an indie animation series by the studio Glitch. Completely free here on YouTube to watch. I personally like it very much. A lot of people enjoy it very much. But a lot of people are also very weird about it and even have managed to, you know, bully the creator and mastermind behind the show off the production because she couldn't handle it anymore. Though, to be fair, I feel like, you know, nobody should endure that kind of social media harassment. Though at the same time, I do feel like it's a little bit on her part as well. Like, you don't have to answer every single comment. I feel like, at least from the comments that I've read, especially when people ask her stuff about the show and the vision and stuff like that, I think she sometimes overshares stuff that would be more interesting if she would have just kept to herself. For example, you know, a couple of questions regarding the last episode that is out already. I feel like stuff like that should have been kept under seal. Even just for immersion's sake. So yeah, I feel like she herself, you know, could have just as easily not answered the comments. I'm not victim blaming here, but I just, you know, it's a little bit of a cautionary tale of how to not interact with a fandom and not take comments too much too hard. But yeah. Jan, how's the new studio? Oh, I'm not in the new studio right now. I'm still in my old flat. The move has not yet commenced. We'll most likely move around August. However, we have seen that there are some quite nice flats and even like half a house for the same price as like a flat for rent. We are very excited about that. The market seems to be quite nice in the region that we want to move to. So, you know, all that in due time. I am very certain, though, that I will actually have a proper studio when we move. Which will, of course, enable me to do so much more stuff. Because, you know, right now, as I'm pretty sure all of you know, I'm streaming from the bedroom that I share with my girlfriend. And you know, not trying to be a douche, I don't want to stream, of course, when she wants to go to sleep. Which is why, you know, one of the reasons why I've not been streaming so much lately. Oops, sorry. Other one passed me by. I see, as usual, social media at the core of this drama again. Oh, yeah. Bryce says, quite frankly, a lot of communities and fandoms have been going nuclear these past months. It generally puts me off of watching and supporting the things I want because of these parasocial maniacs. Yeah. I mean, I do get it. I do feel like TADC has roped me in a lot more than many other shows that I've watched in the past. I feel like the last time I was this enthusiastic about a show was... what was it? I'm not even sure. It's been a long time. I think the last time was like, yeah, actually FNAF. Which is funny because, you know, the fandom there experienced a similar level of, you know, mania. But yeah, Fatman's Kitchen, good morning from the US. Good day from Germany. Glad to see you here, man. Let me... what kind of trousers does he have? He has beige. I'm gonna take some Xandri dust for that. Yeah, Gooseworks is a bit socially awkward, which I don't particularly blame them for. Oh no, I don't blame her for that as like either. But it's like, again, if the fandom starts to erupt because of something, just maybe, you know, stay off the internet. It's the old, you know, cyberbullying paradox, where you could technically just turn off your phone and then be spared all the bullying, or just block people. That might be a little bit, you know, dismissive of me to say, but I feel like at the end of the day, it kinda is like that, isn't it? Oh, sorry, I thought it was in full motions and you posted pics of moving the orcs. Oh, yeah! Nah. The thing that I'm doing right now is to have the move go as smoothly as possible, because we are moving closer to my parents. Every time I visit my parents by car, I'm already loading up the car with as much stuff that I won't need in the next couple of months as possible. Mostly, for example, miniatures that are already painted, or miniatures that I won't be painting, like in these next couple of months. That's what you've seen me pack. So, yeah. I've already spent like 3 days just packing miniatures and making sure they'll survive the move. And I'm very, very, very happy that I'm doing this now instead of around the actual date of the move, right? What's this about moving now? I definitely missed this. Oh yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, I'm moving. I'm a move around August. We'll move back to my parents' county, if you could call it that. And because of, you know, certain regulations, certain stuff, the area is nicer, the people are friendlier, the grass is greener, everything is just nicer over there. And it's also a little bit less expensive than here. So that's why we want to move. And it's been in the works for quite some time now as well. Well, quite some time. I've literally just terminated my rent on this flat. I'll have it till the 30th of September. So right after my diploma, basically. My diploma concludes on the 29th of September, and on the 30th I have to be completely moved out. Which is fine, you know. Okay, what else? I'm gonna take the same beige that it took for his trousers and paint his belt. God, I wish the rent market here was as good as some other places. Paying 60% of my salary for rent is insane, not to mention availability. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, it's not that different for me here as well, though, to be fair, I'm not really working that much. I really have the privilege of mostly focusing on my studies. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for every day. I don't take this for granted. But yeah, once we'll move into the new apartment, we'll have to pay twice as much. We'll have more room, of course. And we do want more room. Because we do want to stay in that flat for a couple of years, like maybe like 5 to 10 years, maybe even. So, you know, not sharing just one room would be quite nice. You know. But yeah. TADC has been Hotel's hell of a boss. Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, every modern Warhammer. That's just the franchise that I personally liked at some point. Just so many fucking issues. Yeah, but I feel like if a franchise has issues, for example, like Star Wars has a lot of issues in the fan base, but most of those issues, to be fair, really do not come from the fandom. It's really just from the top downward. You know, decisions in lore, the way they, you know, the direction that the whole franchise is steering. Of course, you know, any person would be pissed off. Now, with the new Maul show, which I've seen like 2 episodes of, it looks one hell of a lot better. But, you know, still cautious. However, with, for example, FNAF, and FNAF is also very different, like very special thing. But with TADC, for example, it really comes all from the bottom up. All the stress comes from the bottom up, because the show itself is, of course, amazing. It's perfect. I really, really like it. I don't know where the entitlement from some of the fans is coming from. It's like the best you could ask for. So I don't know. Yeah, I think TADC is like, you know, they're like 2 different things, you know? Warhammer, I think you could even say the same, that most of the drama is inflicted by Games Workshop on the hobbyists, and not the other way around. It's always the same script, cool thing releases, fandom grows, someone has an individual problem with something, more and more individuals tune in, maybe greater than it really is, fandom implodes. That too. Yeah. I guess you could say that too, yeah. I think it is really difficult for a big fandom, or rather a big franchise, to stay true to the formula that made it big, you know? Because new people even come into the production and they wanna give it their own touch for some reason. Oh, sorry. But yeah. Again, with TADC, it really is weird to see that all the drama is literally just coming from the fans, and I feel really bad for the studio and Gooseworks themselves for having to put up with this nonsense. Ungrateful. kind of funny how the links to the show and the fandom actually are quite well visible there. Oops, sorry, my gosh, I need to scoot a little bit more forward. You guys can't see anything, I'm so sorry. And the sad part is, a lot of these parasocial weirdos are moving out into the real world. It's uncomfortable being around these weirdos when they're standing next to them. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm really intrigued on which you know, kind of people will be there when the movie finally releases in theaters. If any TADC fans are listening, go take a shower before the movie. I don't care if you've showered that day. I want you to take a shower. Franchise destroyed, yeah. Don't forget ignoring official stuff and replacing it with headcanon. That's another thing that I've noticed, yeah. especially in TADC. I found it really interesting, the response from one of the voice actors, I think Jax's voice actor, who said, hey guys, don't like stop asking us questions about the characters and the story. We are literally just the voice actors. We just literally are just reading the script. We have no idea nor any influence on the way the story is progressing. And I was like, yeah. That's pretty much it, right? Next up, I'll take some, I think the Fang. For the gloves and boots of Dagnai. I see it differently. If any people don't like a franchise anymore for whatever reason, then they should just move on from it. Everything changes, no one can stop it. Yeah, but it's like, with TADC, you know, the series is 9 episodes long, each being 20 minutes, and it's been released over the span of like 2 to 3 years, I think. And I think it's getting 3 years old this August. So people have only really had morsels of a very, very cool, intriguing story. And they've had loads of times to make up their headcanons and create basically a mental model around their expectations. And, you know, they've basically... reinsteigern. I'm looking for a word now. They've basically hyped themselves up so much to their ideas and theories that they've heard that they cannot accept when those theories, or for example, ships are not coming, not coming out to be true. And I feel like somewhere that is understandable. However, you know, don't forget who's running the show to once again stay in theme with the series. Glitch and Gooseworks are running the show, and they are the ringmaster. We're just here to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. I don't know what's so hard about that. I feel like it's, yeah, again, as you guys said, it's very parasocial. Maybe these peoples are really the classic basement dwellers. I don't want to be too mean, right? But again, the people who've antagonized Gooseworks and Glitch definitely do deserve to be a little bit, you know, besmirched. I'm having difficulty putting the model you're painting either AOS or 40k, which is it? Oh yeah, funny. Hang on, I'll give you guys the real deal. This is Dagnai Holdenstock. He is a merchant from the... Oh my gosh, how are they called again? Overlords. Caradron Overlords. And he is part of the Cursed City box set. So, ALS actually. Though I do get why it's a little bit difficult to make out his exact, you know, where he belongs exactly. What did I want to say? Oh yeah, again. I'm painting these guys mainly because you guys are right. We have been covering a lot of 40k and Horus Heresy lately. And, you know, the Cursed City is like almost finished. I only need to paint a couple of characters. So that's why I was like, hey, you know what? It's time for a little bit more fantasy. Next stream, I don't know when it will be. Hopefully very soon. Maybe even, maybe... I gotta need to drink something, sorry. Maybe even this weekend. So that will be a stream of Thynrich and me hopefully going over the new reveals for Warhammer. Once again, I didn't have a proper look at it. You now have the official permission to gaslight me and tell me what's been in the reveals, because I won't believe any of you. So give out your craziest takes. And after that I'll see who of you lied and who told the truth. What else have you guys been writing? Maybe I should tone down this light a little bit. Reminds me of when Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments had to be legitimately tell people to leave because stink bombing your opponents because of genuine fucking strategy. Really? Dang. Reminds me of current shit surrounding Kiara from Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh yeah, and I think the ending of Chainsaw Man was also very controversial, I think. I'm not a part of that fandom. So I have not really an idea. But yeah, there's a lot of shit going around. Isn't there also like there's this one anime with a guy and a girl, and she's a cosplayer and he's like her photographer and seamstress, I think it's called. Seamster, the guy who sews her clothing, her cosplays. And I think like wasn't the ending of that anime that the main like the MC literally got cucked by a self-insert of the mangaka? That was crazy. Apparently. Oh, the dress-up anime. Yeah. Wasn't it even called Dress Up Darling or something? Yeah. Just make your own opinion. Yeah, fair. Female Space Marines came out 10 years earlier than I expected. Oh yeah, really? I mean, that Amazon money, right? Fatman's Kitchen says, getting into Battletech, but decided to only use the ancient Ral path minis to go slow and enjoy the process. You've now given me the perfect excuse to step away from the model for a second and look up what that is. I'm gonna slide you guys over here. My hair is diminishing. My dress darling? Okay. Wow, that must have been devastating to the fans. Lots of girls like that own. Yeah, really? Well. Oof. Battletech Ral Arthur miniatures. Alright, what do we have? Images, please. Oh, interesting. Hang on. I'd like to have my face on there as well. Bingo. How ancient are we talking? Because that looks quite ancient. But I feel like you're talking more about this, right? Wow, the resolution is not good. Like that right there? Oh yeah, really? Okay, dang. Okay. I mean, they look cool. Damn, are those tin miniatures though? Huge for tin. By the way, as we are here right now, hard to find, but not crazy expensive. Okay. Interesting. What I want to know now... Hang on, let me open the Discord for a second. You guys have posted a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna go into the building workshop first, because I haven't seen a lot of that. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Namely, Fatman's Kitchen. Did you do some stop motion here? Did you do some stop motion? That's crazy. What? Or is it actually a mechanism? Nah, no way. Yes. That's so cool, dude. Some working joints, eh? Stop motion, okay. Wow. Is that a 3D printed, like, what are they called again? Cromlech? No, not Cromlech. You guys have told me about this one company that made, like, the old Knights and Titans before Forge World was a thing, basically. There's an old school epic Imperial Knight blown up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, right? Are we correct? From Battle Castings, I see, okay. Armor Cast, bingo, there we go. Okay, and this one is from Battle Castings then. Interesting. That is so cool. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. Dang, mad respect for the stop motion. Dude. That is really cool. Thanks for sharing that. Not Armorcast, but in that style. Alright, okay. Dang. That is so sick. No way. Dang. That is so cool. Damn, I'm really glad that I've not had a look at that until now. It reminds me of my stop motion days, Dice of Self-Cringe. Yeah, same. I was thinking the same thing. But, you know, this is a little bit more on the... a little bit higher level than what I used to do. Yeah, FCG, I meant good old stop motion. Oh yeah, with the rig and everything, that's really cool. Alright. Some great progress in the building workshop. Now we go to the coloring workshop. Anything new here? No. But once again, like, the airship is crazy. Holy shit. So cool. You guys have really shared some cool stuff, and Rice here again with his salamander, right? Yeah, I think so. Again, every time I see stuff like that, I feel bad for not being able to put out more stuff. But you know, once the waters are calming down a little bit more, I'll be able, like, when I'm back, hopefully in like October/November, I'll have a lot of stuff prepared us to go over. Mind you, my stop motion was done when I was like 13, so yeah. Yeah, same. I did like Lego stop motion when I saw like these little Lego movies on YouTube. That was fun. What I feel like doing, because I do actually have a couple of standalone videos, but actually a full series already completely filmed, and the only things left to do are, you know, the basically digital production, so editing and scripting. And what I want to do moving forward is I actually do want to do, when I have like a bigger project that will span multiple episodes, I do want to have everything done first and then release this series as like one big thing, because that way I could even offer my members something of value, because you guys could see the episodes maybe a week before release or something. I've seen a couple of model railway YouTubers actually do that, and I really like that concept. And now that I actually have one series completely done and filmed, technically two, I'm actually in a prime position to do that once I'm back. And that way I could also, you know, just focus on one thing or two at the same time, which might make the whole thing a lot more cohesive and easier to do. So yeah, what I'm doing right now, behind the scenes, when I get the rare chance to paint stuff and I'm not streaming, I'm actually preparing all the content that I want to do after I'm done with the diploma. If you use a voice actor, you got your man. Alright. Shut up, I also did Lego? Hell yeah. Alright, next up is the regular metal, I think. Okay, so in the original speed painting guide that I did for this guy, I advised people to keep the... Oh, shit. Is it detachable? Oh. No way. Did I leave it detachable? Oh my god, I'm so based. What? Oh, that makes the whole thing a lot easier. Okay. Damn. It's been so long since I've built that guy. I was convinced that I didn't leave it. Didn't do that this time. Okay. And then let's clean up a little bit more stuff here. Huh. Pro stream painter. Yay. Isn't it nice that, you know, sometimes I can still surprise myself? I think that's quite cool. Alright, that makes the whole thing a lot easier. Especially for the next couple of moves that I want to pull off. Okay. Anything else interesting that happened? Yes, I actually celebrated my birthday in March, around the Easter holiday. And my girlfriend has been had been teasing for months that she would have a birthday present for me that neither she herself nor I could probably ever top again. So I was, you know, very hyped and also a little bit concerned about what that gift might be. And let's just say I was not prepared for her to, on the morning of my birthday, so in the evening she told me, yeah, we have to get breakfast a little bit earlier. We can't do like the big brunch with your family. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. So I was expecting like a little bit of a road trip or something. And then she told me, yeah, the plane is leaving in a couple of hours. She planned over the last couple of months a trip to Great Britain because she caught wind of a little something that I might find very interesting, or rather interesting. So when our plane landed near the coast, like near London, I was like, oh wow, okay, damn, London, wow. I was flashed all the way. I'm not selling the story correctly. I'm, you know, all the way there. Couldn't believe what was happening because to me everything happened very spontaneously. Of course, to her and as it turned out, my entire family, that whole thing had been planned months in advance. And then she told me, yeah, but we're not staying in London. We are only staying the night. I was like, okay. Where do we go? And she was like, well, there is a little something called, a little city called Nottingham, which is the, as any Warhammer hobbyists might know, Warhammer world. She actually bought this whole planned this whole trip, spending way too much of her, of the money that she had saved up over the year, to get us both entry into Warhammer World in Nottingham. That was absolutely crazy. We spent the whole day there. I originally really thought that Warhammer World was a little bit overrated, because I was like, yeah, okay, it's just a room with all the Warhammer figurines and like little glass shelves and everything, you know. Couldn't imagine it being that impressive, and especially on the photos, it never really looked to me to be that impressive. Now that I've been there, I can attest to the fact that it's incredibly impressive. Holy shit. Awesome experience. Batman's Kitchen says, oh, noise. Oh, yeah. Oh, noise, I think, you know, describes it very well. We went there for my birthday 2018. Damn. Hell yeah, man. Happy late birthday from Rice. Thank you, Rice. Huh. But yeah, that was crazy. An incredible experience. I've I've only mentioned like in passing to her, like, oh yeah, there's this thing called Warhammer World, but I would probably never go there because what reason would I have to go there? Especially because I don't want to bore her or something. But yeah, it was incredible. They had, as you guys probably, know, they had everything. Every single match, great dioramas. We went to Bugman's Bar. And we actually spent the whole day, and even she did not get tired of the things she was seeing. Though, to be fair, in the end, like, I've rarely been at a point where I've looked at so much stuff in the real world. It's a little bit different when you're looking at, like, computer screens or something. But, like, I've rarely experienced so much stuff in a single day that near the end of the day, I really could not focus on anything anymore. For the first time, I actually had, like, sensory overload. The Dropsite Massacre is pretty impressive. Oh, yeah. That's just pure material. But especially, I think, the every single diorama, I think the most impressive for me on a technical level was probably the Darkwater diorama. Very freshly added, of course. I don't have any pictures because no picture that I tried to take could really, capture the grandeur of these things, which is why I didn't take many pictures in the first place. But yeah, she was definitely right. Neither I nor she will be able to top this experience in quite a long time. And we spent a couple of days more in England before we went back home for Easter. Yeah. Safe to say, I did not see that coming. I told her, now that I'm 25 years old, I told her that, in 25 years, we'll go there again. And that time it'll be my treat. Because she really enjoyed, she actually enjoyed Warhammer World. She really enjoyed the Lord of the Rings miniatures, because of course those were a lot more recognizable to her. But even as we went through the building, she even recognized some of the Warhammer miniatures, which I found like amazing. We were coming to the second room and there was like a Dorn, and she pointed to him and was like, "Oh, isn't that like one of the Emperor's sons?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, that is one of the Emperor's sons. Holy shit!" Like, the fact that she recognized some of those guys was so cool, so surreal to me. That definitely was one of the crazier things that I did over the past couple of weeks. I've heard there are plans for a US branch, but otherwise it'll be a bit before I can visit. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. However, yeah, okay, will be interesting to see how they'll pull that off, because the reason why they can do it that easily is because, they have to paint all the miniatures anyway for their promotional material. So of course, they can just put them up in a big showroom. And of course, then they also have like the big hall where you can play against your friends for free. That was also very cool. All the terrain already fully built and featured. So yeah, surreal experience. That was like the most Warhammer I've ever been involved with. I did not buy the Space Marine, the special Space Marine tank though. I was tempted, but that would have been just I think I just had stars in my eyes. That would have been a little bit too, what's the right word? Irresponsible. Because it is rather expensive. Also, a thing that was very, very mean, you know, all the prices, because you only see like the numbers, were fairly reasonable. Like they appear reasonable at first, and then you have to do the what's it called? The transfer from pounds to euros, and all of a sudden those prices are very, like, you know, usual. So yeah, I was tempted by a lot of stuff, but I had to rein myself back in, saying, "Oh no, it's too crazy." And I've got, you know, I think I'm still very well supplied with miniatures to paint. Okay, I need some brass. Which one? I think I need Balthasar gold. Other than that, to basically talk about something that I've already mentioned at the beginning, I've really missed streaming and content creating, even Warhammer painting in general. I've done so little painting because, you know, apart from that one trip, I was literally so busy that I've started to, you know, put the clothing rack, you know, where you hang your stuff to dry. I put it right here where I'm sitting right now because I'm not using this space anyway. Ice Cream says, hey, he's back! Hey, he's back yourself! Hello! Welcome back! Gonna speed paint your Imperial Fists? Yes! The plan is for the Imperial Fists, because I do have 20. I wanna come up with 4 different ways to paint them, with 4 different, basically, theories and approaches, and test them out on 5 Marines each to see which recipe is the quickest. Or rather, which recipe takes how long and yields what kind of result, right? That's what I want to do with them. Though, you know, that takes a little bit of preparation, and I'm at this point not really in the right headspace to think about that too much. However, I do have, you know, 2 ideas I already have. And for the rest, I just, again, need to have a little bit more time to think about it. How's your thesis book coming along? Quite alright. I think the book itself is around like 30% done. Technically speaking, it's 50%, but because, you know, I need to do some revisions, of course, I'm already factoring that in. I think realistically speaking, I'm like 30% done. And all the character design is also completely ready. I had to submit that as like one of my assignments for this semester, which, you know, was quite handy. I even had like the first attempt at like a book cover. I can show you guys as well if you're up for that. Though a little bit later, maybe after the wash stage or something. But yeah, it's coming along rather good, though I need to be, you know, I need to stay locked in. There's the only reason I'm as far as I am right now is literally because I put every day into it, like or rather as much time as I can possibly spare. So yeah, as hard of a decision as that it was to pull the brakes on the YouTube channel for this year, I think it is not only the responsible, but actually a very necessary choice to be able to finish my diploma. Other than that, I'm already, you know, looking forward to what I can do next. I do have a couple of, what do you call it? Not interviews, but like, basically counseling, I guess you could call it, like job counseling. So I have a bunch of meetings coming up in different places with different agencies and schools, for example, to see if I can make a career as like an arts teacher with the degree I have. And so far, it really all comes just down to how highly the individual agencies will value my diploma. Or rather, how highly they their opinion is of my academy. Which literally could mean anything. I'm getting Cyberpunk 2077 this weekend. Oh, really? It's on special, and quite frankly, I'm sold on it now. It's been a lot of time since I've been somewhat excited about a game. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I've heard, like, apart from the launch, I feel like the developers have really been able to pull it back, reel it back in. I feel like, with the anime igniting the hype again as well, of course, they might have pulled off another No Man's Sky. So yeah, have fun with that as well. Unfortunately, I don't have even time to play games. I'm not even playing games anymore, man. Like, in the past couple of days, like the last week or so, I've been able to sit down to play like one match of Helldivers, and then immediately shut off my PC again. It's a rough. I mean, okay, you know, woe is me, I'm not fighting for my survival. But again, there is, at the same time, still lots of stuff to do. Which is why I'm very happy to see all of you again. I'm glad to see you're still here. Slow 2x2s is here as well. Dropping in to say hi, leave a like. Life has been crazy for me lately. Glad to see you back painting. Glad to see you back in the chat. Life has been very, very crazy for me as well. And, you know, as a little bit of show and tell, this is the state of Industra, the miniature that you purchased for the channel. I've not been able to finish him/her, but at least all the kit bashing, or rather most of the kit bashing, is now done. And some of the paints are already down as well. A little bit of cleanup. And now it only comes down to what I really want to do with it. I thought it would look sick if the wings would have a little bit of an OSL effect. This is just the sketch, basically, like a what's it called? A sea of souls, basically, like screaming and writhing down and, you know, fading in toward the top stuff. That's what I thought. Definitely a lot of, like, many plays with light and everything. Though, you know, didn't really exactly have much time to do that so far. Looks good so far? Thank you. Alright. I just want you to know that I'm actually doing the stuff that you paid me to do. Basically, right? So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one when that's complete as well. I do have it also right on my desk. So if I do have some time and the headspace, I can just complete that. Cyberpunk 2077 is an amazing game. By the way, good on you guys for abbreviating it with the correct, like with the numbers as well. I see a lot of people online abbreviating the game less fortunate. Also, there has been... maybe I'll tell that later, though. I'm just trying to think, what else did happen in the last weeks? It's been a long time since I've seen you guys. I did paint a little bit behind the scenes, though, you know, mostly more Cursed City, mostly more stuff that I needed to get done anyways. And that wouldn't be that interesting to show on stream. So, for example, I painted the little, like, markers, like points of interest markers, and the bat swarms, the rats, and stuff like that. Which made for a nice video, but, well, aren't really that interesting to show. remember, it's there for you to have fun with. Don't feel pressured to work on it if you aren't in the headspace for it. That's very kind of you to say, thank you. Though, you know, again, I do get what you're saying, but yet at the same time I do feel at least a little bit responsible. To, you know, tell you that I'm actually working on it and that's not just rotting on my shelf, as so many projects are. Maybe if everything is said and done after the diploma, I should bring out that video first. Of that miniature. You know, just as a nice comeback. And I still would like to basically do a little bit of a giveaway with it. Because it is a project from the community for the community, I feel like. I feel like that would be cool. There we go. A lot of details on Dagnai right now. We're actually getting done with the main body in a rather timely fashion. How long have we been streaming? For around an hour. That's, I feel like, very fair. Again, I think the original speed paint had the time slot sitting at around an hour for the base work. And now with me, of course, you know, talking and doing all sorts of things, it's taking a little bit longer, so... And I did paint him one more time as well for a different commission that I completely, you know, had off camera. To see if my own speed painting guides are even holding up, right? Can I do it in the same time? Heinrich also painted a bunch of miniatures, following my instructions. So yeah, maybe I should do this. I'm always over here anyway. Other than that, funnily enough, the little village that I live in right now actually just welcomed a third-party Warhammer store as well. They literally opened up like a month ago or so. And I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. And I talked a little bit to the owner, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we opened just in February." And I was like, nice. Now, right now, when I'm about to move away, that store would have been quite nice to have here, like 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it works. It's just, you know, up and coming right now. So hopefully, he'll be able to stay. I'm rather surprised that he even managed to, that he even thinks that there would be enough customers here. Again, it is a very small village with not a lot of foot traffic coming through it. Where like one of these villages a party of adventurers would come down to, which gets like named once and then never again. Okay. I'm going back and forth between the same colors, which is not exactly how you're supposed to do it, but you know, I'm not really moving against time here. If we get both miniatures done to their base level at least, I feel like that's already a victory. But yeah, other than that, I've been mostly painting and sketching. Mostly digital arts, because it is just the most convenient medium, as the oil paints do at the end of the day leave a little bit of an odor, especially the paint thinners. And I don't want to subject my girlfriend to that stench. And now that the university was closed over the holidays, I just stuck to digital arts, as I had nowhere else to go. And yeah. That resulted in a lot of stuff. A couple of you guys, I feel like nobody and Rice? No. Nobody and Matt, right. Matt wanted a picture of, I think, a landscape as a backdrop for his dwarves. He even gave me the specifications already. So I need to look those up again. But nobody, I still think I owe you a portrait of either a character of your choice or yourself to be featured in my channel banner. I'm fairly certain, yeah. I'm fairly certain that's the case. Feel like you have the heightened membership. And as we are on that topic of, you know, creating art, as we are on the brink of art, so to speak, what are, like, stickers, or, like, are you guys missing, like, any emojis or stickers that you would like to see here on YouTube to be able to react with, or on Discord? Because I do feel like, I do have sometimes a bit of time to work on different stuff. I just, don't really know what to do. Like, where to go with the stickers. That's not a bolt thrower? No. Did you vote for the bolt thrower? Qulathis and Dagnai actually got more votes than the bolt thrower overall. At the end of the day, I always do 2 polls nowadays. One on Discord and one on YouTube, and both polls are counted together. I'm not bothered about emojis. Alright, fair enough. The bolt thrower is on the shelf right there, and will be painted in the next stream that I'll do. I actually was kind of rooting for the bolt thrower, to be honest. Because, at least with those guys, I didn't have to stick to any predetermined painting scheme. Could have just done what I wanted. But this is also nice. I was also, you know, before the idea of the bolt thrower came up, I really did want to paint Dagnai and Qulathis. So yeah, happy either way. I need to skip the music a little bit. It's a little bit too quiet. You probably are not even hearing it. Don't I have, like... No. What? Okay. Running out of steam. I'm not used to streaming anymore. Ah. There we go. And the light, of course, there are some details that still need some working out. Most important, though, for now are the bigger ones. For example, like the boot right here. Completely forgot that. And after that, we'll head to, I think, his backpack. Yes. Now, his backpack is very simple, at least for the very first step, because everything just gets covered in brass, and thankfully, thanks to these trinkets down here, I can just hold it like this and, you know, paint it rather comfortably. Alright, Where is it? Ah, there. There it is. I'm using Balthasar Gold for this. Because the other brass that I have is Brass Scorpion, and that is a little bit too bright for me. A little bit too orangey. That even rhymed a little bit. Alright, so hey, at least you have people interacting, lol. I have to try and build my streams up. Oh yeah, especially with like, again, I haven't had a proper look at your streams. But you're doing gaming streams, right? And I feel like the market for that is a lot harder to compete for than painting streams. Especially if you're solely relying on streams. Videos really is where it's at. Or rather a combination of the two. But yeah, who's got really time to do all that? I remember when, you know, Theinrich and I actually do have a second channel, Trick 17, or rather Trick 17, where we do, you know, all sorts of stuff, basically any project that we think would be cool, we do over there, or rather did, because, you know, I don't have time for my main channel, so you'll not catch me over there. Every time I streamed there, like I streamed for like 6 hours, for example, playing Project Zomboid with a couple of friends. And it was crazy, we didn't even have a single view in like 3 hours or something. That was actually crazy to me. Because these streams, even if people are not you know, prolific typers in chat, or prolific chatters rather, at least, you know, at the end of the day, usually I get like 100 views or something. And over there, I got like 10 in like 6 hours. That was crazy to me. I was like, dang. Really starting from the bottom again. And mind you that I'm gonna try and stream every Friday/Saturday for this coming month and see how it goes. Yes, I think that's the right way. Well, I'm definitely wishing you luck. How long are your streams on average? Like 3 hours or something? Oh, by the way, how does it work with your data? Aren't you like on a very strict data plan as well? How do you even have these streaming capabilities? I already feel bad for taking up your data when you watch my stream. My streams, rather. I'm just sat here knitting while listening mostly. Chiming in between rows, and that's cool. I mean, that's cool. You're knitting, that's cool. Now? At the beginning of summer? I mean, you can knit whenever you want, of course, I know that, but isn't like most knitting wear or knitted wear for like the colder seasons? Or are you doing like preparation for the colder seasons? Alright, and with this, the backpack is already mostly done. Hang on. There we go. Okay, we'll need a second coat, damn it. I'm gonna splurge and get a 150 gigabytes for this coming month. Speaking for yourself, winter just hit for us. Okay, well, fair enough, yeah, I guess so. Ice cream, where you, you know, if you got time in between the threads, where are you typing from again? How's the weather for you? Vast Ocean Blue, otherwise known as Vash in the community, is typing, good morning, lads. Good morning, Vash. How are you doing? How have you been holding up? But yeah, the 150 gigabyte plan, damn. Isn't that like, okay, well, I think even more, I wish you the best of luck to make the most of it. Every Friday and Saturday, eh? I'll keep that in mind. Hopefully I can show up, at least for a short bit of time. Maybe even tomorrow. Oh, I'll see. I can't make. The reason that I can't make promises is that I always still stay flexible in my plans, depending on the mood of my girlfriend. Now, don't get this the wrong way. It's not like she's like going ballistic when I say, "Oh, how dare you go to your PC or whatever." But it's like she really has like rough weeks right now with her timetable and work and university and everything. So when she comes home and is like completely done with everything, I do, you know, I do want to cheer her up, and that's why I don't make any commitments to be able to spontaneously just, you know, decline basically or stay with her. Alright, and that's the weapon already. Good. Starting the workday, so happy to have a stream to chill with. Alright, perfect. Thank you. Thanks to have you on board again. Right. Okay. And now we need some lead belcher again. Ice Cream says, I'm from Florida in the US. Oh, hell yeah. You guys launched the Artemis mission a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? It's from Florida, right? Houston, Florida? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Quite sure. Well, I know you've probably not have had any direct involvement with that, but good job anyways. Very inspiring. But a friend of mine is expecting... Oh, really? And I'm only just learning to knit, so I'm working my way up to knit a baby blanket for my friend's first baby. That is so cute. That is so wholesome. Dang. Oh yeah, isn't Houston in Texas? Oh yeah. Right. But isn't the launch pad in Florida? I thought that was in... But no, you're right. Houston is in Texas. Fuck. Good point. Geez, I miss having that nourishing experience with a partner. And yeah, 150 gigabytes is 500 South African rand, so not cheap even slightly. Dang. Launches from Cape Carnival in Florida. Alright, there we go. Well. But yeah, that's very wholesome. Damn. Yeah. Interesting that you can just, Bryce, that you can just, change your plan for like a single month. I don't have any, I'm pretty sure I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Like for us, it's always like yearly plans that we have to, adjust, I'm rather sure. Maybe I'm talking a bit out of my ass here. Thing is, my girlfriend gave me like a little bit of a reality check. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. But she asked me about our data plan because the Wi-Fi was buffering for a second. And I was like, oh yeah, we've got this and that. And I pay like 40 euros, right? And she's like, dang, why do we even have like... Why do we even have this? And I was like, yeah, well, when I moved here, I wanted to have good internet for download and especially upload to be able to stream. Yeah, but like, wouldn't you have to make like 40 bucks a month to like with streaming to justify this data plan? And I was like, and she looked me dead in the eyes and was like, you're losing money. And I was like, damn. Never really thought about it that way, but yeah, I guess you could say that. Just caught me out of my shit. Hell no, I don't touch the recurring plan shit. I don't know about other countries, but here it's there's no laws or regulations for them to change the pricing during your period. Dang, that's crazy. I feel like that's like... I'm pretty sure that's not a thing in Germany. I have heard that with mobile companies, that is something that can happen in America. That, like, for example, a company gets hit with like a fine for something. Like, oh, it turns out you've actually been killing your employees for sport, so now you have to pay $1 million in fines. And then the company is like, oh yeah, we're very sorry. By the way, to all our customers, our plan is now $5 more expensive for no reason. You know, stuff like that. Heard that from a couple of people. Don't know how that is now. It's been a couple of years since I last heard that, but yeah. Coming together quite nicely. The only thing that I always recommend people do, at least in Germany, when it comes to like data and energy, at least with energy, always just go with the local city authority, basically. Because there are some like private energy companies, and people are like, oh yeah, you should do that, it's a lot cheaper. My girlfriend did that once in her previous flat, and it was absolute like hell. Like the customer support was weird to get through. They did many mistakes, billed her for the wrong address and stuff like that. And apparently they did such a bang-up job that they got actually shunned from Germany. They weren't allowed to do business in Germany anymore. And then her energy plan just went with them. so yeah, that's like something, for example, that could not happen with, you know, just the local city council, basically. When it comes to electricity, really just stay with the local business. Alright. I feel like that song, by the way, was the end of my Divinity playlist, so I now have to look for something else. Before I do that, which parts are silver again? The chains, the handle, the lock, and that thing. And the pipe. Okay. Alright. Most of the USA, we only have one power company option. Oh, really? Dang. Right up. That's a bit crazy to think about, no? Hang on. Bit crazy to think about that, you know. I don't know. That just screams monopoly, doesn't it? Not to trash talk the American system. A lot of Europeans, you know, have a habit, and I used to be one of them, just trash talking anything American. Like, oh, the Americans and stuff like that. And then I actually looked into, you know, what America offers, what the government offers, on like a broader spectrum to their citizens. And at least on paper, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So quite a lot of misconceptions over there. Like over here, rather. The government decides who we get the privilege of paying for electricity, which is required to legally occupy a residential structure. I mean, fair enough, right? You wouldn't want to have like any vagabonds in like houses. I think like these days I wouldn't be surprised if somebody would take up like a residence somewhere, and then just like lit bonfires. Isn't it like illegal to collect rainwater as well? Like yeah, okay. Some stuff is quite crazy. I'll give you that. At least in Florida, right? Sorry, I had to chase away baboons again. What? Aren't like baboons like monkeys? Aren't they like chimpanzees, or are they smaller? Just casual. And yes, same in... Oh, fuck. I don't know that is. Same in South America. Only municipality. No third-party services for electricity. Water, on the other hand. Yo, very different story. Okay. Oof. Yeah. Over the years, I've become really appreciative of my country. And even like society in general, you know? As a LARPer, I do spend a couple of weeks each year, or used to spend, now it's only like down to 1 week. Because again, time frame constraints. Outside in like a tent, living like medieval peasants. Which made me appreciate stuff like electricity and like heating, central heating and warm water even more. And I once talked to one of my colleagues in university, and she was like very on this, like, we need to be one with nature again. And we had like a conversation where she straight up told me, we as humans are doing the wrong thing with like the society that we live in. We should go back into the forest and be one with nature again. And I'm just like, what? You know, I was thinking, are you out of your mind? But then I was like, well, maybe she has like, I didn't say that straight up. I was like, okay, have you ever camped in like nature? Like just in a tent or something? And she was like, oh yeah, I did do something similar. And I was like, oh yeah, what did you do? And she was like, oh yeah, I once spent a month in the Caribbean on a yacht. And I looked her in the eyes. She told me that with a straight face, and I was just like, in what universe does that compare to a tent in Central Europe? Like, even in the summer, it gets very cold, or rather cold at least, at night. And she was like, oh yeah, Europe is not for beginners. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, and then I told her, like, no, you would not want to give up the creature comforts of modern day. Just to be one with nature again. It's like the same as when people say, like, oh yeah, when the apocalypse kicks off, I just need an axe, a dog, and a couple of supplies, and then I can live in a hut in the woods. And I'm just like, no, you couldn't. What do you mean? I've got 200 hours in Project Zomboid, and I know that in the regular apocalypse there aren't zombies chasing you around. But one morning when you wake up and you've got like a sore throat, it's bingo, it's game over. Like, what do you mean? Where do you go? And you twist your ankle and you're done. I don't even say this to sound like smug or elitist, but I feel like it's a very, very important reality check, especially in these times, that people learn to appreciate society and try to, you know, try a little bit harder to conserve it. Oh yeah, South Africa, sorry. Yes, baboons, the monkey things, lol. Alright. Sorry, but the only nuts and berries I'm interested are attached to my partner. Dang. Dang. Banger. What a banger. I once spent a month on a yacht. Yes, right. These people saying that it wouldn't know a poisonberry from a... Poisonberry? Huh. Poisonberry from a boysenberry. Alright, I see. Yeah, I mean, not that I do either. Even I am cheating a lot with my equipment, you know. I do have, like, I always carry in, like, one time it rained, like, for the entire week that we were there, and we were literally sinking in the mud. and I forgot to pack coats for me and my, pals. And because we were heavily relying on just wood and coal fires, which of course couldn't be fired up in the rain, and in the tent that we had at the time, we were pretty much screwed when it came to food as well. So nowadays, I always make sure to carry an emergency kit with me, with like a gas stove, like a camping cooker, some posts to shore up the tent with, like a hatchet, like shovel, not a shovel, but like a small thingy, to carve out trenches for water to flow around the tent with, and stuff like that. And it came in handy twice already, so yeah, that was a good call. But if society collapsed, couldn't do that as easily now, could you? I agree on that we as a species do indeed not treat our planet with proper respect. That's it. The rest of that statement was what? Yeah. It's like, as with many things, stuff like that is just romanticized. It's like, for example, people watching Pirates of the Caribbean and thinking, oh yeah, dang, the pirates had such a nice, awesome life. And if you know anything about either seafaring or pirates around those days, you know it was anything but nice. And again, I'm not saying this to be like a smug, Redditor, well, actually, kind of guy. But just like, again, it's a little bit of a reality check. It's actually quite nice the way that we have it now. Especially in Europe and America as well. In the apocalypse I wouldn't be able to sit here and paint Warhammer. What a tragedy. Alrighty. Next up we need little bit of beige. Yeah. We need a little bit of beige. But very light. Nah, Zandy should be fine. If society collapses, I can help with agriculture. I actually have useful skills, lol. Not to brag or anything, based. No, that's cool. I pretty much do not have any useful skills. I feel like, so I have often thought about that if I do have like a week or so of downtime where I don't have anything else to do, or rather I can take the time off, then I would really like to, for example, to know how to start a fire from nothing, or learn the plants properly. At least, the ones native to the region I live in. One of my colleagues is actually very knowledgeable in that field. He ventures off into the forest quite often and picks himself, what's it called? Herbs and other things to, for example, assemble, like make salads at home or teas and stuff. Like, he knows his shit. That's very cool. Most essential survival skill you need is how to purify water, especially if you can't boil it. Yep. And even if you can boil it, like, it's a very energy and time inefficient thing to do. So even then, like, you can't be wasteful with anything. Do I actually have any survival skills? I'm just... Do I? Only, like, very rudimentary. Like, I can sew with just a thread and needle, for example. Rather okay as well, to a rather decent quality. And I do possess, like, very rudimentary gardening skills. But apart from that, yeah, I'd be pretty much useless. I'd be very, like, manual labor. The real Inquisitors here as well. I have some very basic knowledge. I would give myself 2 weeks before biting the grass. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's for me as well. Once I've been playing like a lot of Project Zomboid and like other survival games. That's like a couple of years ago. And I was taking a hike with my girlfriend. And it's literally like the meme, you know? Like she was walking around talking about all sorts of things. And I of course conversed with her. But in the back of my mind I was just looking around and I was like, okay, if I was stranded in the forest right now, right here, what would I do? Where would I seek shelter? That over there looks quite nice. Alright, it did rain, so I'd already be fucked in terms of firewood. Alright, and I don't have a fire starter. How would I even make fire? You know, this very basic thing. Like, could I possibly prop up some shelter? Yeah, possibly, yeah. I think anybody really could, if you have like half a brain. But then the very next thing, how to make fire from nothing. Like, you're cooked, that's it. And I've recently watched that Moist Critical video where they were on Mr. Beast's like forest land for like a day. And he himself admitted as well, like Moist Critical admitted himself, like he thought that it would be way easier to survive in the wilderness than it in reality it turned out to be. Like they took like the entire day just to light the fire. And they had like flint and steel and stuff like that. So yeah, tough luck. I think like survival in the wilderness and stuff like that, and even like in the apocalypse if you would like surviving on your own, is one of my most like the most fun I have in like gaming, especially with other people, but also like alone, and like just as a thought experiment as well. I think it's very, very humbling to think about stuff like that. I know the theory on structures. I haven't built one in the wild yet, but I do have carpentry as a skill. Alright, that's cool. That's nice. You know, I only have like iron. Very, very rudimentary. I could possibly build like myself a shelter, but I'm fairly certain that I couldn't build myself like a house or something, or a hut. That's male instinct there, like scanning the perimeter for potential animals when you travel with a group. Oh yeah. There has to be something like that, right? Alright, looking at our reference right here, we do have some grain up here, some Bordeaux down here, and some grey here, and the rest is something else. Alright. But before we do that, I think I would like to move to Qulathis. Should I wash this guy? Oh no, that's not the right guy. That's the right guy. Oh, maybe I should wash this guy already as well. The axe. Okay. There are a couple of things that we need to take care of. But apart from that, I think we could actually wash this guy already. But yeah. But yeah, I think it's not scary, but it, again, it's very humbling to think about that. If somebody was to kidnap me right now or teleport me right now in the wilderness somewhere, even like in Central Europe, and I had to survive for like a month or so, I'd probably be like on death's door by the end of it, at the very least. Because again, I do not know how to make a fire. I know it in concept, but I've never done it. So there's a good chance that I wouldn't be able to make one. And even then, you know, where do you get food from? Like I've never slaughtered or hunted down an animal. I couldn't, like I don't know what stuff I could eat from like plants or something. So yeah. I love good sticks, says Rice, and he got censored by YouTube for that. Of finding a good stick. Good stick is life, you need good stick. Yeah, you need good stick, that's true. And on the other side, it is really cool to see stuff like, for example, the Artemis mission unfolding. Like, that was really hype. I'm not that big of a space guy, funnily enough, as a Warhammer, as a strong Warhammer enthusiast. I'm actually not that involved with, like, space news and stuff like that. But the Artemis 2 mission was really cool to follow along and debrief. And just, you know, enjoy as a planet dweller. That was very cool. That was very hype. Like, especially also like the fan art for that and the philosophical things that, you know, the thinking, the mindset, the zeitgeist. That was really cool. Oh, that got censored. Yep. On the Flat Earthers are going fucking insane, bro. It's hilarious. You should watch Project Hail Mary, great movie. I know. I actually would like to watch it with my girlfriend, if she's down for that. The problem is, so Inquisitor, you haven't been around for the last 1.5 hours, I think. But I've basically been always reiterating that I really don't have very much time. Like, from Monday to Tuesday, I'm literally out the house for like 12 to 14 hours, just at the university or at work. And the rest of the time I have a little bit less. For example, now on Thursdays, but yeah. You still haven't watched Iron Sky 2? I still haven't watched Iron Sky 1. Need to do that as well. I did see a clip of it on Instagram recently, of course, in tune with the Artemis mission, right? Like, you know, the top text saying like, oh yeah, we're going to find this on the moon if we go to the dark side of it, and it was like that scene from Iron Sky when they find the base on the dark side of the moon. But I haven't come around to watch it yet, no. But yeah, Hail Mary is definitely one of those movies that I do want to watch as well. But where do I take the time from it? And even if I have some time, my girlfriend doesn't have it. I could go by myself, but I'd feel kind of scummy about it. Not gonna lie. Unless you turned in coming out the seminar excuses. Well. Fuck! Okay. Well, the next cinema is also like a couple of towns away. It's like in the next bigger city. I'd have to travel for like 45 minutes. Boo-hoo, woe is me, I know. But yeah, all that aside, I do want to watch that movie, definitely. Don't get me wrong. And yeah, regarding the Flat Earthers, who was it? Oh, damn! Legionary Decanus is here as well. Glad to see you again. Hey, glad to see you, man. How's it been? How have you been doing? It's been, I think, like close to a month and a half that I've been gone, right? At least a month. But yeah. Very, very busy times. Felt very inspired, very motivated. So that's definitely good. But on the drop side, I haven't come around to painting much Warhammer. Or doing anything Warhammer related, really. I'm good in the army now, and have less time to paint, but more time to read Warhammer books, huh? Oh yeah, right! You started your mandatory military service. Interesting. Crazy to think that you're chatting with me right now as you're in service. But yeah, of course, soldiers do have downtime. Conscripts as well. Here in Germany, we also have like a debate about military service again. Very, you know, unpopular for a very unpopular cabinet to try and demand military service. People are not happy about that. But yeah, you should hurry up though. It's in the 5th week already, but I fully intend to get the DVD so I could stream it in Discord theoretically in a few months. Don't say that, don't incriminate yourself like that. Nah, I would like to watch it in the cinema. I think it would be, you know, actual peak cinema. Hang on, let me... Can I zoom in anymore? No, okay. Small runes down here. Alright. But yeah. I'm very intrigued to see how I'll be able to set up my new studio. That's going to be very intriguing. Once I've moved in like a couple of months, I feel like that's going to be the next big step for me as an artist slash YouTuber, and of course the quality of video in general as well. That's gonna be very cool, I feel like. The army ain't stopping me from starting an AOS army though. Really? You've got time for that? And the capability? Like, is the barracks close enough to your house that you can go home? You know, after quote-unquote working hours, or do you have to sleep in the barracks? Because I know when my father had military service, he actually had, you know, was in luck that he lived quite close to the barracks, so he could just go home over the weekend, I think. I need some of that. I need some beige for the skeleton. Now we'll paint a little bit of the details on Dagnai, and then we can finally move to Qulathis. How long have we been streaming? For around 2 hours. That is alright. In this show, there's a lot of holidays, so I do have some time. Oh yeah, okay, sure. I remember. Alright, cool. That's nice. Also, it's not a criminal act to watch a DVD with friends. It isn't a public showing, but like watching the movie on TV, but using digital means. That's true. That is true, actually. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And you wouldn't demand like entry fees and stuff. I think you're right. Probably a gray zone because we haven't really met up in real life. But I feel like you're right, there wouldn't be a case against us if we wanted to do that. However, again, I think the cinematography itself from that movie kind of, you know, would be very nice to see in a proper theater on the big screen. I love how so many, you know, movie executives and stuff were like whining about people not going to cinemas anymore. It turns out their movies just sucked. Turns out when movies like Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, Iron Lung, or even the TADC finale drop, the people come in droves because they actually do want to see that one. That stuff. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah. There we go. Next up, I think I'll take some Ironbreaker? Yeah. The lead belcher is not liquid enough. Let me shake that a bit. Hang on. I'm turn back to the... There's the Ironbreaker. I'm gonna turn back to the screen in a second. Chaplain JC is chatting for the first time on Twitch, saying, "Afternoon, brother. How are you doing and what are you working on?" Today we are actually painting 2 different miniatures from the same game. It's Dagnai Holdenstock from the Cursed City, Right is the guy I'm painting right now. On the left is the guy I painted a couple of years ago for a speed painting tutorial on YouTube. Still holds up rather nicely. Really am surprised how locked in I was back then. And the next model will be Qulathis, which we'll paint in like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, or 20 minutes. Though, you know, we're gonna start from a fresh, clean slate. But yeah, what brings you here? What brings you here? To what do I honor you showing up? I'm still pissed I can't watch Iron Lung online. The only movie I was willing to pay to see. Yeah, same. I'm fairly certain it didn't really release in like German theaters. But one day I'll probably have the time, the opportunity to watch it. One day. Alright, now we'll pick out the individual belt buckles on his undercoat. And like these small rivets. Hang on. There's not a lot of margin for error here. Oh. There's not like that. Okay. Mention connections dropped for a second. No idea if you saw my hello, lol. Oh yeah, no, I did. I asked back as to what I honor your presence in my stream, as apparently even the Twitch gods themselves fight to keep you off this stream. Thank you for returning though. I was saying I'm quite good, and we are painting Qulathis the Exile and Dagnai Holdenstock from the Warhammer Quest Cursed City board game. What you're seeing right now are my quote-unquote prototypes from the speed painting guides I created a couple of years ago. You can see those on YouTube if you want, though they do have aged quite a bit. And now I'm basically seeing if I still can do it. I'm painting these guys up right now in an attempt to sell the second set later down the line. Has worked for me in the past, but now been a little bit of a drought in commissions, which is fair. I did, raise the prices to an unreasonable amount because I didn't have time to get to them, university and actual work. So they look really cool. Loads of very nice details. Oh yeah, thank you very much. And the miniatures, yeah, the miniatures themselves also offer loads of room for like nice techniques, experimentations, and color combinations, yeah. The real Inquisitor says it profits from the silver screen and high-profile music systems. The sound design of the movie is great. Oh, really? Hail Mary was literally my first movie I was watching in cinema in years. My last cinema visit was for Star Wars 7. And 2009 TLK, the last... No, what? Just noticed you have a decent following on YouTube. What's your preferred platform? Oh, thank you very much. My preferred platform would probably be YouTube. I do enjoy... The thing is, I do enjoy streaming a whole lot, which is why I'm always double streaming, or rather multi-streaming. But I do really enjoy, making videos and like the longer form content, simply because I feel like that's more deserving of like attention to have like a nicely crafted video. But I really enjoy like these streams and hobby hangouts as well. Though again, I'm always multi-streaming, so whatever platform you prefer, I'll be on there. Oh, the Lion King, alright. I just came up with an idea I may try this evening. Oh yeah, Rice? What are you up to? But yeah, Chaplain, how are you, how are you doing? What are you... I mean, you already have Chaplain in your name, so I'm guessing you're not new to Warhammer. What system do you prefer? What projects are you working on right now? I'm always very intrigued to see to hear what people are doing, and especially where they're from as well. I've been in a theater twice, both was underwhelming. Ah, that sucks. I've also not been in the theater for quite a long time. I think the last time I was in the theater was like for, I think like Doctor Strange or something. What types of videos do you create? Usually painting videos. Though I would like to branch out a little bit more into battle reports as well. Just for example, and like book reviews. Though the thing is, I'm actually an art and illustration student. A message got... Hang on, what? No, that is a... Okay. I also prefer YouTube for both watching and creating content. Oh, okay, cool, that's nice. So, hang on. Need to organize my windows again. There we go. Again, painting videos, I would like to do other content as well. Though, as you are new to the stream, to the channel maybe as well, I'm actually an art and illustration student who has his diploma coming up in a couple of months. So for right now, and as you see in my upload schedule, if you look on my YouTube channel, I actually, had a hard time creating content for the past couple of months, and for the future for the coming months as well, at least till October, because I need to take care of my diploma first. Voidq, is that correct? Says hello for the first time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the stream. What brings you here? And Chaplin, you too are creating content? Dang. What kind of content are you creating? I've been... Okay. Lola ain't telling you what my ideas are, right? The last time I enjoyed theater was for Zoomania, I think. Holy shit. Yeah, that was a great movie back when I saw it. I was infatuated with that movie. Thankfully for all the right reasons, you know? I didn't go crazy over Judy Hopps. I just really like the story. And the universe building as well. And the soundtrack. I really liked Shakira in that movie. Like her song. 2016. I wish I could stream painting again, but I just simply don't have any setup for that. Yeah. I gotta say, painting streams are a little bit more on the higher barrier to entry. Do have a little bit of a higher barrier to entry for that. Even I am not doing a good job because my camera doesn't have autofocus. Whoops. Oh, also, Jan, a quick software inquiry, if you wouldn't mind humoring me for a second. What do you use for streaming, OBS? Oh yeah, I use OBS with a couple of Streamlabs plugin, for example, the multi-streaming plugin and a couple of plugins for like chat stuff. I want to do more as well, I just can't get to it. So much to do, so much to do. Oh yeah, Zootopia, right. Depending on where you live, it's got a different name. What? Fuck? What's that music? Sorry. Oh, I'm in the wrong playlist. I haven't had this playlist for years. Hang on. No. I'd rather do this. Okay, come on. Okay. Bingo. There we go. Can you please send me details on that chat plugin, please? I genuinely need that. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll do that. Hopefully after the stream. That's really cool. Best of luck with your diploma, brother. What kind of jobs are you hoping once it's completed? Ooh, I would love to be, of course, a freelancer. My diploma, thankfully, is... So, my diploma basically works like the masterwork of, like, for example, a carpentry... carpentry... What's it called again in English? When you try to get the carpentry, you know, certificate. So you have to, you know, at the end of your carpentry learning, you have to produce, like, a masterwork. That is basically how my academy handles the diploma as well. So you basically have to create a whole what's it called? Damn, now my English is failing me. a whole project of yourself. So, for example, a lot of people are doing comics, some do animations, and I, for example, I'm writing a book, and I'm illustrating that with actual like oil paintings. And yeah, so I would like to hopefully be an author and maybe even proper artist with that. Though right after my diploma, I'll probably look forward to getting a certificate for, to be able to teach it in a school. To have also a little bit more of a stable outlook on life, because I'm not, I do not want my parents to worry too much. Very solid plan? Well, I hope so, right? The master plan is that the oil paintings that I paint somehow find their way into a gallery, and the book gets printed for like any bookstore, for example, so that the people reading the book would like to see the pictures in the gallery, and the people visiting the gallery would like to read the book. So it's like a self-fulfilling cycle, right? Yeah, Zootopia was very funny. I thought that I recognized that model, so I came to check, and yeah, I had so much fun painting that dwarf. Oh yeah! Dagnai is a great miniature. I like painting him very much as well. It's my third time painting him already. I think that's it for the gun as well, for him in general. I think we can already wash him. Okay, the handle. What did I do? The handle is purple or like burgundy, so I'm gonna do that as well. But yeah, Chaplain, Chaplain on Twitch, you mentioned that you liked YouTube for creating content as well. So I'm guessing you're also a content creator? And Voidku, again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that name somewhat correctly. What project are you currently working on? Whoop. You mentioned the dwarf, so I'm guessing you've already painted the Cursed City. So maybe Darkwater now that that's out? Or something entirely different? Did I overlook any other chat messages? I hope so. Hope I didn't. But yeah. To the movie discussion, it's been so long since I've seen like an actual movie in general. The last movie that I watched, even outside of a cinema, was The Sound of Music. From I think like the 60s, that movie. A classic, amazing movie. I really enjoyed watching it. And if you stop at the halfway point, it's like the Titanic, You'd really just have a nice feel-good movie. And if you keep watching, your heart rate will jump to 180 BPM. That was very intense. Do you collect, build, and paint any armies for any tabletop or wargames? Yes. Now, since I am moving in a couple of months, I'm actually already packing everything. Let me quickly show you how that looks. So there we go, here in the Discord channel. So I have all my miniatures, or most of my miniatures, usually in these shelves. And now, since the move already is in a couple of months, I'm bringing those basically to the place that I'm moving to. And yeah, as you can see, there are a couple of Luminefs here, a lot of Imperial Guard. And all these boxes are full to the brim with miniatures that I've either painted or not painted. Most of them are not painted. So yeah, it's a lot of... I actually collect way too much, because a lot of my friends have stopped participating in the hobby years ago. And I basically like inherited their armies to build and collect further. Which was quite nice, which is quite nice. It's also a lot of responsibility. I don't play a lot though, because I live in a very small village and most of my friends are scattered throughout the country. I play like once a year or twice a year. Wojciech says, I switched to YouTube chat. Right now I'm working on a commission. Just a bunch of random fantasy models. It's been probably like a year now since when I put any paint on my models. Ain't that the truth? That's how it usually goes, isn't it? I mean, again, technically speaking, these miniatures here are also for a commission. I'd like to get back to my Imperial Fists over here, but that'll be some time. The last time I painted those was also like 2 years ago or something. Or 3 years even. But yeah, I'm enjoying, you know, just streaming with you guys. By the way, since I've got a couple of newcomers to the channel, you may ignore the last video that I did, right? It's a more on the political side, you know, regarding female custodies. I'm not sure if that's the best impression of this channel. I'd rather would like you to watch the painting videos, which is my usual content, right? I would love to be finally over with this and take care of my salamanders. Ah. Heresy or 40k? Just like Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1 dangerously gaslights you. Oh yeah? That reminds me I need to post my own commission details again. Oh yeah, do that. I think it's crazy how many people in the hobby are actually doing like commissions, be it small or big ones. I think this guy needs a wash. Yes, I think we've got everything covered so far. So we can just give him a wash. I'm fairly certain I don't need to look up what I used. I'm fairly certain I used non-oil. 40k era, just because I like him. I don't play, just collecting. Yeah, fair. And if I play, like, for example, if I play 40k, I mostly play, or rather I only really play 8th edition. Because, you know, 9th edition I don't really have any rules, I'm fairly certain, for the Imperial Guard. And for 10th edition I don't like the rules. It really feels like a... how should you call it? A downsized version, like a knockoff version of 40k. Don't have anything interesting. Hang on, I'm looking for a different music. I think that's okay. If you want political discussion, join Discord server. We have Jan reading Karl Marx next week. Oh yeah, sure. But yeah. I try to avoid that stuff. Sometimes I just can't help myself. I did like 2 political videos so far in all of the existence of my channel, and I feel like both times I was rather fair. I'm like not too extreme with anything. At least I don't think so myself. Well, but anyways. What I really would like to do is Inquisitor, stop gaslighting the newbie. What I really would like to do more of though are like painting projects, especially like series. But because of my diploma, I unfortunately, you know, can't find the time. Yeah. It's just too much stuff. It would feel very irresponsible of me to put my diploma in jeopardy for the benefit of my YouTube channel. I would have done that, or at least I would have handled it differently if I would have been able to reach like 10,000 subscribers by the end of last year. But, you know, I'm happy to have 4,000. I'm happy to have you guys in chat right now, don't get me wrong. But I also need to be realistic about it. Though I'll come back big time once the diploma is done. I think, so as far as the plan stands right now, I do have a couple of months basically of downtime between my diploma and my next stage, whatever that may be. No matter which course I'll end up basically taking, or rather which course will it take me rather. And in that downtime I'm fully prepared to put incredibly, like, a great amount of content out. I've already got like so much footage. Chapin says 4,000 subs is a great effort. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate that. And yeah, I don't say this to like discard the amount of the amount itself. Though, yeah, it's not enough to make a living, you know. I find it amazing that even right now in the chat are you know, people who have actually taken up my membership. That is still surreal to me. Thank you to all the members that are here right now. But even, you know, just the quote-unquote regular viewers, I still find it crazy. Still find it hard to believe. Great motivation to keep going. And challenge myself. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, Jan is almost a centrist or fence sitter on politics, since it really is not a focus or even big topic. When it shows up, it's always a reaction to some prominent BS that is happening. Yeah. I really don't like it when people are starting to become, like, in any discussion, really, become bad faith, you know? I don't like that. What would you say is the minimum amount of subs you need to make this a full-time job, along with, say, views per day or video amount members? Good question. I have heard once that to make YouTube like a full-time thing, you would have to have like 80,000 subs or something. That's a crazy high number, don't get me wrong. For what I'm shooting for right now is like 10,000. If I'd have like 10,000 subs, I could definitely see myself doing YouTube like part-time, right? You know, properly. As opposed to now, whenever I've got the time. And yeah, I don't really, so it's a classic situation of I don't do it for the subs, I do it for the love of the game as well, of course. But the subs definitely dictate of how much time I think is appropriate to put into content creation and video creation. Because if it was up to me, I'd do this, you know, 12 hours a day as I used to do back in COVID times. But, you know, since I have to take care of myself, I have to take care of builds, I have to take care of my girlfriend, that really is out of the question now. That being said, right, I take care of my girlfriend. She is the breadwinner in this relationship right now. But yeah. Chaplin says 10k subs would be an awesome platform to work from. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get to 4k subs like you? What's worked, what's not worked? Well, you know what? Just for you, I'm gonna open my analytics again, because why not? Are you guys okay with that? Are you guys okay with taking a quick detour? I don't want to put the whole stream in jeopardy. But I do think it's an interesting thing to talk about. Hang on, let me put a little bit of different music though. Ice Cream says cheers. Oh, you're leaving us? Knitted enough? Ah, there we go. No, sorry, I can go on a tangent. Alright, okay, thank you. Alrighty, okay. Can I show everything? Am I allowed to do that? I need like the last year or so. That's fair. Do I need to block? So for the questions, the subject has really pushed my curiosity. Oh no, I totally get that. I personally really enjoy when people who are streaming are talking about like the metrics behind it and like the machinations of a YouTube channel, because, you know, I'm interested in that, of course. Let me quickly just think, can I show my YouTube earnings? Is that allowed? Because I don't remember in the TOS. Can you disclose YouTube earnings to the public? Yes, you can publicly discuss YouTube earnings. It is now common practice. Alright, okay. In that case, let's not be shy about it. Boom! Hang on, can you even see that very well? So that is my earnings. The earnings are not that not the main focus here. What I want you to see is this right here in the middle, right? This is views and watch time. 3,000 hours, 3,300 hours of watch time in the last year, in the last 365 days is actually crazy. That's very cool to see. But yeah. So, as you can see here by the metrics, the time where I really got like the big spikes in like viewership and subscribers actually is rather fluctuating, really. I didn't think it would be this. Hang on. Last 90 days? Maybe? Oh wow, did it really not make that much of a difference? Oof. Well, okay. But you know, it's what I basically want to show here is it's very much like the old saying goes. Much comes from much. So in Germany we have the saying "von viel kommt viel." So if you put a lot into it, you'll get a lot out of it. And these spikes you can see here, I don't know why he's not showing it down here, are from the times where I uploaded a video every day. Be it a short, a stream, or a long form video. It really does not matter. And you really need to do this, apparently by how the algorithm works. Of course, you shouldn't compromise on quality, but what you really need to do is just, I feel, am I a little bit of a douche for saying stuff like this with 4,000 subscribers? I don't know. You know, at least what got me to 4,000, right? Don't want to sound like an alpha male or something. You get this for free. I don't, you know, teach a course on this. You get out what you put in. The harder you work, the better you luck. Yeah, it's basically like, I don't know who said it again, but I do like the saying of a lot of success is down to luck, but people who work harder and work more get lucky more often. Of course, this, in my opinion, is also, when it comes to YouTube, a very privileged thing to say and do. Because at the end of the day, you need to have the time to put all of this work in. I know like one YouTuber who does like all of her videos on Sunday. But depending on the content that you do, for example, me as a miniature painting YouTuber, I actually need to have a project on the side. I need to complete that project. I need to film it. I need to write the script. I need to voice the script. I need to do the voice editing. Then I need to do the video editing. Then I need to do like special effects and stuff like that. Not much, but you know. So it definitely is also down to the type of content that you do. You know, mass producing content as a miniature painting YouTuber is not as easy as maybe as a gaming YouTuber. I don't say this to talk down to those guys, but you know, it's just what it is. And what you can see here as well, like the first spikes that I had were like in the middle of October, where I really started to pump out a short every day. And you see, you know, these first waves are roughly 1 month, like 30 days. So from the 15th of October to the 15th of November, I put out a video every day. And after that, you can see the spikes go a lot higher. And the reason for that is that YouTube, the way that the algorithm works, or basically like as another YouTuber explained it to me, it definitely feels like YouTube has a bit of a bouncer. So YouTube basically checks, oh, can this person even put in the effort? Hang on, let me put on some different music. Can this person put in the effort to put out consistent videos, like a video every day? And once you've crossed, this threshold of like 1 month, your videos are basically eligible to be shown to a broader audience, or at least it feels like that, because somehow, or rather suddenly, it wasn't like in the single-digit thousands of views. It was consistently in the, like, you know, more regarding like 10,000 view range. I don't know why he's not showing that correctly. I distinctly know that I had a couple of videos that reached like 10,000 views in a day. But yeah, TLDR, you really need to put out just a video a day. I don't think there's much other than that. There are special occasions. For example, if you look at the YouTuber Soviet Womble, right? Or Internet Historian, who puts out like a video a year. And that works. But those are really like the outliers, and unfortunately not the rule. I'm fairly confident to say that you can have the best quality video of all time, and you will really struggle to, depending on the content of course as well, to get an audience with that. Unfortunately, the only outlier that I have seen recently as well, and that was very magical to see actually, was a special YouTube channel that just came into existence, and it is, hang on, that was actually very cool. Bingo. Hang on. YouTube needs to buffer. It's Matt's Mocks. That guy is actually incredible. So, what is the incredible thing about this YouTube channel? Well, this guy bought a railway. I bought a railroad in Tennessee. And the cool thing, you know, this guy literally, you know, in the truest sense of the word, bought himself a railroad with like an old neglected shed, some wagons, a steam engine, you know, and he is now documenting the process of restoring that railroad. As you can see, the video got uploaded for like 5 days ago and already has like 150,000 views. This is the kind of video that you can post like maybe once a month or once a year and get a following very, very quickly, because it is just so goddamn unique, right? But if you join a field that is a little bit more saturated, for example, miniature painting content, there are a lot there. Or, what's it called? Gaming, for example. You know, gaming is hugely oversaturated. Then you not only have to be unique, or rather, maybe unique about it. You also have to upload just a lot of stuff. Dagnai is saying, apparently a lot of successful YouTubers that don't upload daily decide on their title thumbnail first and then try to build a video around it. Really? Okay, I've never done that. Sometimes I build a video around like an intro idea that I have, but not like that. Well, the earnings aren't your main focus, the fact that you're earning from content creation, that's really cool. Yeah, and it's actually due to one single video that I had that went really, like, incredible. That made me eligible for the YouTube Partner Program. Yeah, it is incredible. Don't get me wrong. It is incredible that I'm actually able, wow, the text, that I'm actually able to earn something with YouTube, right? I'm already in the like 0.05% of YouTubers, technically speaking, just from the metrics, right? So you know, I still want to pursue this as a possibility. But yeah. I mean, it makes sense. People will click because of the thumbnail and title, so it's best way to get some views, even if not. Oh, Illunas has become... What? Haven't you been already a member, Illunas? By the way, hello. Sorry for not mentioning. Haven't you been a member for quite some time now? Or did you do the... No. You have been... Yeah, 4 months ago. Alright. Cool. What video was it that helped your channel take off? Ooh, that's very easy to see. Hang on. It was a couple of videos. Of course, you know, I try to stay true to form. So it's mostly Warhammer and painting related. But if you go on here, it's actually... So, I did have a couple of... Like, the biggest painting video that I had was the Venari Auralan Wardens. And I think that also fits, like, in the realm of, okay, this is a very unique paint job. It says member for 4 months. Yeah, I'm just surprised that it says that, actually. But yeah, very cool. Good to have you here, Lunas. Thank you very much. You know, in general, thank you for everybody who's just watching and commenting along. I still think it's incredible. I still think it's so cool that you guys are here. Don't get me wrong. And yeah, like, lots of thanks to all of you. Thank you. I don't say it enough, I feel like. But yeah, the Luminef video for, like, the miniature painting side and, like, a couple of others that were in that range. But the biggest video by far that I had was, like, the most dangerous way to criticize. It's actually a political video about a different creator who made a video antagonizing the devs and the game Atomic Heart. Because it is, you know, a game that is released in Russia, and he said all Russians are bad, you know, you can't buy that game, or you're supporting the war in Ukraine and stuff like that, you know? And he was very rude about it as well, and I was, like, fuming. Dude, I'm getting 3 ads? What? You're not supposed to get ads. I don't have ads on my stream. What? I'll look into that after the stream. Weird. But yeah, this was the video that single-handedly, you know, made me eligible for the YouTube Partner Program. Apart from that, I also had, like, one short that was incredible. Hang on. And it was this one here. 10,000 Years of Corruption in 1 minute. That had 205,000 views. I guess, you know, you could say that is, like, my most viewed video of all time. But yeah. YouTube sucks somewhere? Yeah, I don't know. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing very fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for asking. Sausage party? You mean because of the high male member audience? Well, it's apparently 100% male. Yeah, mine used to be as well. Now it's only 99%. I don't know what to tell you guys. I also got 3. Really? Weird. I specifically told YouTube that I only want to have ads manually, so the stream is monetized as a VOD, but not during the stream. I'll look into that later. Brave Browser Supremacy. Doesn't YouTube put ads on everything, even if the YouTuber says no to it? That is true, yeah. A little weird. 84,000 views for one video is amazing, and then the other videos that follow have a solid amount of views too, which is awesome. Yeah, it was, like... It's not chronologically, unfortunately, so it's not like all my videos after that got, like, more views. That is unfortunately not the case, but, yeah. But again, that video was also very special, because the video of the first creator went viral. So it was basically the third perfect storm, right? Another person had a viral video, he was deleting comments, he was very rude, and I was fuming, and I put, like, I think I put, like, 20 hours worth of work in the span of 2 days into this singular video, articulated myself rather well, and, you know, everything came together so the video itself was good. And I was the first person to react to that guy and, you know, give him contraire. And that's why that video popped off so well. So, you know, it was a very specific set of circumstances. I basically had a good opportunity. And as the saying goes, you know, Technoblade said it himself, opportunities are created by luck, but it takes skill to grasp those opportunities. I just had also very much luck that, you know, to get the opportunity and grasp it, thankfully. The shot made me aware of the channel. Really? Oh, hell yeah, that's so cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's cool. I heard from Bill Q that shorts are the way forward to get traffic to your channel and to use them as a great way to get subs to watch your longer form content. That is true, yes. So, TLDR to all of this tangent basically is if you want to have a if you want to build a successful YouTube channel and you don't, you know, buy yourself a railroad in Tennessee, then you unfortunately need to put out very frequent content, and usually that means also a spam of short form content. Yeah, that's just what it is. Reaction videos on hot, trending, and/or current topics always seem to work really well. That is true to an extent. It really comes also down to the person reacting and the quality, for example, of the mic and the camera, I think. Also, like, the commenting style has something to do with it. But yeah, my first video ever to reach 10,000 views was the Horus Heresy trailer reaction. So there you have it, right? And that was literally just me saying, you know what, I feel like this reaction business is very easy. Turns out it is. But yeah, the reaction genre itself, if you want to call it that, is also very saturated though. So yeah, sorry to all the people who wanted to come here for strictly miniature painting content. I'm very sorry for this long tangent. But I hope that's okay. Reaction slop on it again. Yeah, that as well. So, yeah. It's also the mindset, I think. For example, I kinda know, like everybody kinda knows what works on YouTube and what doesn't, right? Reaction content gets a lot of views without you having to try too hard, right? And stuff like that. Though, if I only did reaction, like every time I do a reaction, I feel kind of dirty. Because it's not my content, and I feel like I'm, you know, giving you guys not the content that you deserve to watch. And that's why I try to not do it too much. I only react to stuff that I actually find interesting. And the streams I do, you know, the reveal streams, I feel like they are fun. I really like discussing the stuff with Heinrich and you guys in the comments. Our side quest discussion has been interesting. Back to painting, lol. Yeah, very much. There were also a lot of messages that I couldn't go into, so I'm sorry for that. I think I need to scroll up again to have a proper look at those again. But yeah, that's basically my views on YouTube. In short, you need to create a lot of content. You need to create quality content. You need to have some stuff that makes you unique. So unfortunately, it's not as, you know, straightforward as it might seem. However, to be very honest, if you really want to build a YouTube channel from scratch and you know what you want to do, maybe think about creating 30 videos beforehand, you know, so like a couple of long form videos and then shorts. And then when you create your YouTube channel, basically upload all of that in like order so that everything gets released at the same time each day. So you have like already 30 days ahead of you so that you can ensure that you'll hit your 30-day mark when you start. I think that's the actual advice that I would give someone to when they'd start their YouTube channel. I agree, the occasional reaction video is fine, but you don't want to just do those. Yes. You know what the tragic thing is though? There have been times when I just couldn't get to painting, or rather I couldn't finish the videos, like the editing, and a trailer would come out for something Warhammer related, though I would like react to that. So technically like I had like a couple of reaction videos back to back and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Meanwhile, I'm just here knitting while you paint and ramble. React to that? To what? React to what? But yeah, that's nice. I personally like streams as well to just have basically background noise. That's exactly what I'm here to trying to provide, right? I've painted her too, probably my best paint job. Snapped her ankle like 4 times in the process. Oh, that's unfortunate. She is a very flimsy model. This one I actually got like pre-built from eBay. I think I can actually be kind of amazed, should actually be kind of amazed that she is, you know, came to me in one piece. One piece? Scarsnick green and Castellan green. Ah, I made a mistake, nice. But that's okay. You know what, Jan? That's a good fucking idea. Yep. You mean the 30-day, 30 videos preparation idea? Yeah. The thing is, I don't want people to... And people tell me they start a YouTube channel. I want to make sure that they do it also for the love of the game. And this, you know, oh, you have to create 30 videos before you even upload the first one. Already sounds so try-hardy and so meta-gamey that I feel like it takes away from like the magic and the ethos that you should have as a content creator, right? Like it should be about fun, technically speaking. Like in the perfect world, we'd all do this just for fun, and I do it for fun, but also the money as well. So yeah, I'd rather also like it is a daunting task. Create 30 videos before you release your first one, you know. So usually I'd wait for people to release a couple of videos and see if YouTube and content creation even is for them, if they even enjoy that. Hang on. Castellan green? Yeah, really? Not Caliban green? I'm pretty sure it's Caliban green. What? Oh, it might be Castellan green actually. Damn. Funny enough, I'm watching this stream as background thing while I'm at work, doing stuff. Best kind of streams, in my opinion. Alright. I'm glad to hear that. Where are you from, Chaplain? That, it's actually in your time zone. I'm guessing Europe? Somewhere around that? At least this time zone, roughly? Oh well. Oops, sorry. At the Re-Inquisitor, a stone has higher morals than Hassan. Oh yeah, we established that Jan has a higher moral standard than about content than the biggest Twitch streamer Hassan. Yeah, Hassan is a whole can of worms, isn't he? Oh well. That's also another thing where I don't really like to do political content. I don't want to be in the same realm as political YouTubers. Some are better than others, don't get me wrong, you know. But, you know. I'm based in Swansea, in Wales, UK. God damn, alright. Happy to have you here, Chaplain. Great to hear. I don't have too many viewers from the UK, actually. I used to have, but those left me, I think. Or lurking. Could also be. I recently visited the UK, not Wales, but London and Nottingham. Very sweet. It is actually different. Where are you based? I'm based in Germany, so I'm not that far from you. Actually, I come from the North Sea coast, so you know, talking landscape and customs, it's actually not that different to Great Britain as a whole. Also, really like drinking tea. Also, like, you know, the culture of farming is very well established in our place. So, yeah. Did you go to Nottingham for Warhammer World? Oh, you bet I did. Actually, I didn't, but my girlfriend planned the trip for my birthday. over the span of a couple of months without me noticing. It was like a covert operation. I basically had like birthday lunch with her and my family, and then she was like, alright, the plane goes in a couple of hours. You can imagine my astonishment. Yes, but Jan put on an unreleased video for chat while doing something else. The very thing Hassan claimed was impossible to do. Yeah, that's easy. Also at work right now. Oh really? Dang. So many people having me at work. You must have some really cool jobs to just have me playing at work. It's very, very, very nice of you, actually. Like, yeah. Your girlfriend sounds like a keeper? Oh yeah, you bet your sweet bippy she is. And actually, that's where the next big news come in. It wasn't because of Warhammer World that I did it, but I guess now is as good as time as any. She's no longer my girlfriend. She's actually my fiancé. That's right. Your boy got engaged. I had that planned beforehand. It's not like, oh my god, she took me to Warhammer World, it's time to get down on one knee. Thank you guys for all the congratulations. I predicted it. Yeah, you pretty much did, yeah. Mrs. Art is finally here. Not quite yet, but yeah, pretty much. Congratulations, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, again, Easter and around my birthday was a crazy time. Chaplin is now following. Thank you very much, man. My indoctrination worked. My usual question, when's the wedding? Well, if everything goes to plan, like, we're not trying to rush it. So if everything goes to plan, it'll be like at the earliest next year, which is funny to say after I just said we're not trying to rush it, right? But if that doesn't work out for whatever reason, we'll do it later, right? Is your girlfriend taking your last name, Girl of Art, or are you taking hers, Brink Friend? Brink Friend is actually so good. Girl of Art is actually cool though. Not gonna lie, I'll pitch her that. Sounds like 2026 has been an amazing year for you so far. Oh yeah, definitely has. And we're not even halfway through. The things that are still on are end of my diploma, possibly, you know, another big breakthrough on YouTube if it works as I hope it will, you know, at least with a lot of content that I've planned. Thank God I'm actually fumbling my words here. And the move, and the different, you know, place of work, everything, my book. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. By the way, I asked the wedding before you announced it. Yep, you did. I saw that. So yeah, spot on, Illunas. Jan being the only one who's having an actual good 2026. Well, again, it's not the halfway point for the year. There's no saying that if you're having a rough start so far that it won't turn out for the better later on. You have to make the wedding cake figures yourself, you know? Oh, that's actually a cool idea. Will you be live streaming the wedding? No! I actually do believe in social norms and customs as to not do that. I'm not fully content-brained yet. I did think so. I do with her, like, we already talked about something that we would want to do for our honeymoon. Though, she like, as cool as that would be to, like, stream the kind of trip that we have planned, I feel like that also would, like, ruin the magic of it, right? So maybe I'll do a video of it afterwards with, like, some animations and stuff like that, maybe. I don't know. Will there be a wedding stream again? No, nah. Sorry. I'll also not do like PewDiePie did it. I'm not going to film my wedding. No way. But honey, my 10 Chronicle Online watchers want to be here too. In a hot tub. No. Also, so basically what I can already say about the honeymoon that we have planned, like our ideal honeymoon, would involve like a long hike through, like not through Germany, but like a 2-week long hike. We're both Lapas, so we both be donning our armor and like big backpacks. I did one of those hikes once before, a couple of years ago, so that was quite fun. But, yeah, I think I wouldn't even be able to do that. That's a sick honeymoon idea? Yeah, right. My girlfriend left me, my parents are getting a divorce, I have to find a new place by October. What could possibly go right for me this year? I mean, as you said, you know, new place in October, new start, fresh beginning for you to reinvent yourself. Maybe there's someone, you know, right around the corner. You know, the way I met my girlfriend, I literally stopped. I got rejected like 8 times. either directly or indirectly, right? Friend-zoned the lot. So I completely gave up on the idea of like a relationship. I just wanted to focus on work. And right when I did that mental switch, I met my girlfriend. And she threw me over her shoulder, and now we're engaged. So yeah, sometimes you don't have to do anything. Sometimes you just need to give up first. New girlfriend, yeah, Heinrich gets it. How much I need to donate to get an invite? No chance. No chance. Family only. I'm being very private. I only have 4,000 subs, but I'm being rather hardline. Maybe if like Adepticon. I think Adepticon is coming to Europe this year for the first time. If it happens next time, maybe I'll be there then. I went through the same experience with my ex, then she became my ex after almost 2 years together. Oh, that's too bad, man. That sucks, not gonna lie. But again, you know, it will, like, it can only go up from here. So, you know, always stay optimistic. I had some very rough patches myself, and in hindsight, it always turned out for the better. I'm sure I can't be the only one. Where are you planning to go on your honeymoon? Quitting is the path to winning. Brink of Art. Hell yeah. I'll put that in the channel banner. People ask me, hey, where have you been for so long? I don't actually know the name in English, but it's a nice place. Just like that. We'll take a very scenic route. For all my non-German watchers, Germany has more castles than the US has McDonald's. So we'll plan a route where we can visit a castle or at least like a medieval city each day. That's like the plan so far. All jokes aside, you're right, the wedding should be private, no streams, etc. Just enjoy taking the moment and enjoy making memories. Yeah, that's pretty much my idea as well. I think it's very healthy to have like this distinction. Not that I planned on streaming the wedding anyways, right? But sometimes, for example with Heinrich, right? Every time I have him over, we usually do stream, because we make a great duo together. I like streaming with him. But I think the last time we met up, I distinctly told him, alright, today we're not gonna stream. I only see you to stream. Like, we have to do something together just as pals again, right? You need to sometimes just pull the brakes and, you know, enjoy the moment, as you said. How much you need to donate then to become an adopted brother? Well, you need to at least weigh up your adoption papers. And then you can't talk to me, you have to talk to my, to my father. So tough luck there, man. Sorry about that. Well, the stream's going in my pocket, work's over, so time for my afternoon walk home, yippee. Alright. It's already 5 o'clock at my place as well, dang. The Real Inquisitor says, Jan, honest to heart, don't do any content over it. No video, no stream, it's a very sacred event that should be private. You have to stream making the wedding cake figures though. Oh yeah, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Well, again, if something cool happens on, like, our honeymoon walk, maybe I'll do, like, a recap again with, like, pictures I take here and there, some animations I'll do till then, like, you know, something around that. Maybe Jaden animation style, you know, the sort of storytelling that you have pictures to surround yourself with. If, you know. I do have the other, hike that I did in armor, and I haven't released that so far, so if I want to do something in that regard, I already have it, so I'm not stressing anything over it. Will you get LARP married or just real married? Oh, now we're asking the real questions, right? I actually don't know. I think the idea of a LARP wedding would be very cool, like coming to our con and marrying there under the observation of the gods and kings that are there, as some people do. However, I'd actually like to ask the, like, actors who are playing these gods how they feel of getting invited to a marriage, because I feel like as more and more people do it, I can imagine it getting a little bit tiresome. So I'm just like, should I really do that? It's kind of weird, you know, having to, like, inviting it, because they can't, like, do they say no to this kind of stuff? Do they feel obligated to come to these kind of events? So I feel like I wouldn't want to invite someone or put someone in a position where they feel like they have to attend a wedding just for the hell of it, right? So, I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. Anyways, best to take a short break from content creation if it becomes like a chore or feels stressful or that you're chasing metrics. Yeah, but it's so fun. I enjoy it, right? I enjoy the grind. Because it always pays off, right? In a way. Of course, there are some rough patches where I released like a video a day and I got like 80 views per video and it was like, what is going on here? But, you know, then I stream again, talk to you guys, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat. Reigniting my flame. I have no idea. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's again, I want to talk to these guys first. I want to ask them just, hey, how do you guys feel about this stuff? So the only option is to spawn camp German castles, huh? Oh yeah, you only have like, what is it, like 37,000 to choose from? There are so many, good luck with that. Yeah, pretty much. Well, we have gotten sidetracked for a bit, no? Again, if I could, I would stream every day. This is just so much fun. Even if it's not every day that I announce my engagement, of course, you know. But streams are always so nice. Your streams also reignite the flame in some of us. Oh yeah, that's cool. I'd love to hear that. That's what it's all about, after all. Oh yeah, of course. I need to switch the camera as well. But yeah, what Chaplin said about like chasing metrics and it becoming like a chore and some stuff like that, that definitely has happened for me in the past. I think that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? Though, I think the most burnout that I have experienced is not necessarily from the amount of work that I loaded up on myself, but rather the kind of work, you know? Like painting the cursed city for a third time, like going through the same motions again, painting the same miniatures again. Once I started experimenting with like editing and painting again, suddenly that burnout, you know, went away rather quickly because I had something interesting to do. I could challenge myself again. And I think that's the best way, I feel like, to deal with burnout. Just, you know, you can stay in your field, just try and do something else. Keep it interesting. Keep it interesting. For some of us, you're a rare flame in the darkness, really? I'm just a humble guy. I'm just a humble guy from northern Germany. Just painting some miniatures. Don't underestimate the power of weaponized chat autism. Oh no, I'm not underestimating that. I've partaken in some chats myself. We have pretty potent autism. The 12th stream provided that. Proved that. Oh, the 12-hour stream. Right, that was crazy. Having like, I think you were one of the people who stayed pretty much the entire night. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right with that. Yeah. I mean, that's also very cool. That's very humbling to me as well. That's why I'm always asking, like, what could I do to improve the stream? You know, always the thing with the music and the sound is for me. Because you know, most people listen to it in the background. I always try to take care of, like, music and sound in general. So that it's nice to listen to. Because that's actually how I consume most YouTube content myself as well. Just listening while painting or doing something else. Yeah, so that's very important to me. If you have anything that you feel like, oh yeah, that could improve this stream or something, or I'd like for Jan to do this or try that, just, you know, make yourself known. Want a hot tub stream? Painting in a hot tub? I joined Rad after waking up and it ended somewhat after midnight. It was an experience. Oh yeah, it sure was. That's also like one of the things that I could only do if I had like a room to myself again. Simply because it's not like I would actually bother my girlfriend with that, but I feel like it would bother her in some way. Like there's no way. Anyway, how's the book coming along? You want to see that as well? Wanna just... Why don't we just give up on Qulathis and just talk? This is a talking stream right now. The book is coming along fairly well. I had 2 assignments this year that basically just, you know, played right into my hands when it came to my diploma. The first one was character design. Just, you know, designing some characters and painting them in a characteristic pose and stuff like that. Of course, very important for me as I want to illustrate my book. And the other one was creating the cover for a book that either exists or, you know, doesn't exist. So basically just create a book cover for whatever. And so that's the first round in the Thunderdome that I had with cover creation. Very cool. I feel like the results are definitely satisfactory enough for the assignment. Though, you know, during that time I of course learned a lot of stuff about character design. I had my nose in the wind in search for new inspiration. And so that is why I think that now I could do probably a better job. If you want, I can show some of that later on. It's always fun to keep you guys in the light. I'm also, you know, documenting my entire process. You know, I'm making notes and trying to film myself when I work on the diploma. Because that's going to be another series that I would like to upload like next year, maybe monthly or so. Showcasing how I went about it, what I did. How the process looked, because that would definitely be some of these one of these things where I'm like, okay, that's not my usual content, but that's like the kind of content that I would have liked to have access to have had access to before I started this course of study. And I think it's like cool. It's like, you know, the old saying, it's like watching the Mona Lisa get painted. Did something happen? Did someone join or something? Because I saw something from the corner of my eye, I'm not sure. Yeah, got anything to share? I can make a Discord channel if you want. Oh no, I just put it in like sketches and artwork and stuff. How about painting a custom Slanesh hot tub Warhammer? Hell yeah. Doesn't Slanesh have like... No, the Drukhari have like this one chariot with like a pool of blood. But instead of a pool of blood, we'll do like a... We'll make it to a hot tub. We'll kit bash a hot tub out of it. With some hot Drukhari babes sitting in there. We'll call it the Goon Wagon. Nah, I can't... I don't know. I mean, the idea in and of itself sounds kind of sick. I'll put it in. Put it on the list. That's gonna be my 10,000 subscriber special. Painting the Goon Wagon. Show us? Okay. I'll paint Qulathis a little bit more, and then I'll do that. After all, this is supposed to be a painting stream. I've seen some people come and go when I talked about my engagement. I can only probably... Like the confusion. What is this? I came to saw some miniatures, to see miniatures. By the way, Theinrich, are you still there? Because I want you to know as well that hang on. There we go. The Goon Water Warlocks, oh no. Because I do want you to know that there is a new shop plopped up in my village. An actual third-party Warhammer store with like tables to rent to play games. So yeah, ain't that fun? After 4 years of living here, right around when I'm about to move out, a Warhammer store appears. Ain't that fun? Maybe we can check it out or something. Next time you're here. Alright. Oops, sorry. Today I'm drifting, so wait. I have to take a Stufu module that could be a writing seminar. I either work on my own setting or do a Star Wars 8 rewrite with a buddy of mine. 8? Isn't 8 like V III? With a buddy. I mean, that sounds cool. I think a Star Wars rewrite would be cool. I've seen some fan rewrites that were very, very cool. Definitely better than the original. So yeah, go for it. Or, I mean, if you have a setting in mind, that's also, like... I can also recommend writing that down for the, like, in clean writing. Because I remember when I started with my story that I'd planned for, like, years... It went very, very smoothly for the first, like, 30 pages or something. And then all of a sudden I was like, dang, I don't know how to continue from here on. And then I realized that, in fact, I didn't do as thorough of a planning than I thought. Oh, interesting, okay. Okay. What you guys actually don't know, and I mean, how could you? The only things I've drank today were coffee and tea. So I really badly need to go pee. So after these boots are done, I actually used Mornfang Brown, not dried bark. I'll excuse myself for 2 minutes. Ah, what's that music? No, go away. Okay. Yeah, with writing you have to script and timeline it. If you read mine in the Discord, you'll see that I didn't know that either. Oh yeah, right, your story. Oh fuck. I'm so sorry, I forgot about that, about the basilisks. I even completely forgot about our text exchange. Like recently I sat down in front of my desk and I was like, okay, what should I paint next? And then it hit me like, oh dang. Oh fuck. The challenge that Rice gave you. So yeah, now it's back on my plate. Coaster knitted successfully. Nice. You know, I do have... Are you part of the Brinkwart Discord channel? Because if you want, I'd love to have a look at that coaster. If you want to, though. Personally, I feel like sometimes it can actually be quite a hassle to post things. Like, not to sound like lazy or something. But the reason why I've basically abandoned my Instagram profile, except for like the messaging, like as a messaging network, is because it feels like such a hassle to post anything on Instagram because for some reason it won't work over like via my computer, or like not properly. And it's like, do I really want to put it on my tablet and then upload it via my tablet and write everything over there and then get like 20 impressions? Like, that's not worth it. I've heard that there are some programs where you can time it like you can on YouTube. And maybe I'll look into that one more again, because that's like my major gripe with Instagram. That it can only upload things like in the moment. You can't do a timed upload. At least I can't. Maybe that's a feature for bigger content creators. I am, yes, show 1 minute. Bingo, okay. In Stream Parade. Bingo, that's the perfect channel to put it into. Alright, hang on. Facecam. Hello. And we also worked on a specific scene where Holdo and Finn discussed their reasons, with Holdo praising the First Order forces in contrast to the chaos of the New Republic, and Finn gets angry. I mean, that is a cool idea. That would definitely bring some more spice into it. A lot more character than Holdo actually got. Alright, let's have a look. Oh my gosh, it's a lovely coaster. Are you kidding me? Hang on. Ha ha! Hey, that's sweet. That looks great. Can't fault that. Yeah. That's a probably cost a nice keyboard, by the way. Hell yeah, nice. This only like, what, like 6 times? And then you have probably like the baby blanket. Or do you have to take like a different stitch? A different grain, I guess it's called? I don't know. But yeah, very, very cool ice cream. Very well done. I couldn't do that. Very nice. That's so cool about the Discord channel as well. I can see all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, talking about it. For the people who are new to this. Yeah, Luna's also is working on like other stuff. Like, when you join the Discord channel, you can post all sorts of stuff. We have a channel for like a lot of things if you just want to show off your work or get opinions and stuff. How's... What? Oh. Hell yeah. I've actually been getting into a lot of Flat Earth content recently. Or rather, Flat Earth debunking content. I've listened to hours of that stuff. Absolutely peak cinema. Oh. Yelling at Holdo, talking about how he saw this order in flames and bodies. The somewhat naive freed slave as the delusional power pragmatist. Oh, I mean, that's cool, right? Read my story live? I mean, live reading would be cool, right? Wouldn't it? I think I'll have a look before, and then we'll see. It's basic, but it's a new skill. but it's a new skill being learned. Yeah, I mean, sure. And I mean, what do you mean basic? It's a coaster. It's precisely what it's supposed to be. It's a coaster. It's a rectangle made from yarn. You did exactly the thing that you sought out to do. And I think that's like a success. That's a complete success. I think it looks nice. I think it looks cool. So, well done. Alright. Back to the painting stream. I actually, once again, as I hinted at beforehand, I need to go. I need to go to the claw, as we say in Germany. Hang on. Can I position these guys in a way that you have something nice to look at? At least somewhat. Not really. Oh! Sure. My gosh, that was way too loud, sorry. Alright, I'll go to take a quick toilet break and then we'll be back for like the last half an hour. Or something around that time. Alright. 2 minutes, I'll be right back. Alright. Back again. Gesundheit, bless you. Thank you, guys. Otherwise, my bench has the Wrecker Crew kit, kill team on it. Oh, okay. And a D&D mini Magma Wolf. A friend got in their Dungeon in the Box monthly kit. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. I have, for projects, like I have the Imperial Fists here, the Praetors are over there, the tank is over there, and other than that I do have like more projects over here that's quite difficult to show off, like the Vespid needs some more work, like I don't have them fully finished. I have some other stuff. I have the big Chitin Demon engine from Nobody that needs a little bit more work. So yeah. But seeing that we already have, unfortunately, 5:30 almost, I think there's one more thing for me to do before I actually need to cut this stream a little short and start preparing dinner for my girlfriend when she comes home. My fiance, sorry. And that is giving you guys a little bit of an insight into my work. Hang on. I think I should still be able to stream my program rather easily. Do I need to activate it or something? Don't think so. Do I? What's the program called again? Hang on. Get the camera over here. You got really quiet? Oh, really? Maybe that's due to the way that I'm talking right now. I need to project my voice again. I'm sorry. Haha. Did that fix it? I'm gonna hold off. Just arrived at the shop. Alright, fair enough. Well then, Rice, thank you very much for, yeah, cheers guys and see you all later. See you as well, man. Keep your head up high, man. I'll see you next time. And, until then, have fun painting, have fun with your projects. And yeah. See you then. Bye bye. As for me, I wanna try to look... Why does it not work? What is the name of that program again? There it is. Okay. Good thing I put it in the task. Oh, there it is. Ah, yes. Okay. I'll show you guys. Oops. There we go. So, that is my workbench. That is all the stuff I'm working on right now. And here are, for example... So, when I did this, when I did the illustrations for my characters, I realized that I did have a bit of a problem when it came to painting faces, or sketching faces rather. Because as you can see, for example, here, maybe? Is there the reference? Okay, no. So, basically what happened was, every time I tried to sketch a portrait, it did look like a human. For example, like, this is not too bad, right? But it didn't look exactly like the person that I wanted to actually sketch. Which, of course, is a problem when you have to paint the same characters over and over again, right? They can't look like different characters each time, especially if your character design mostly relies on, let's say, outfits rather than, you know, actual, like, for example, skin tone, right? I don't have, like, a red tiefling, for example. And I talked about it... I talked about this with Theinrich, and he recommended that I should, you know, sketch more beforehand, because as you can see here, my sketches are very rudimentary, because I can't care about sketches. I didn't like doing them. I felt like it was a waste of time. I'd rather just model the whole thing. Hang on, can I give you the time lapse? Yeah. So as you can see here, I did only a little bit of sketching and then immediately went to the painting and started molding the person as I would with, for example, clay or like granite, you know, something like that. I don't know what that flickering was in the end. But yeah, that's basically how I did most of my characters. And as you can see, for example, here with the girl here and here, like, all of these pictures are technically the same person. And she looks different in every single picture. Like, vastly different. But you can see just how tightly you cling to the sketch when you start painting it in. I mean, that as well, yeah, but the sketch wasn't, like... But the sketch wasn't actually leading me. So the sketch was basically a little bit useless on the more useless side. So, I did some classic training again, you know, went over the classical hat sketches. As you can see here, I even did the Freeren meme, right? And tried to remember how to paint heads and faces again. Very methodically, especially here you can see that I even watched like the tutorial on how to do this again. But so it's really obvious to me just how much you rely on the sketch. So if you want better finish, you need better sketch. Exactly. And that's what Theinrich said as well. And that is pretty much what I did. I sketched more. I sketched a whole lot more. And suddenly, as you can see, my faces started to get a lot more character. Because the sketch looked like this now. So already almost like the finished face. And I only had to do the rendering. I didn't do much modeling after the sketch. I only rendered it. And then I basically sat down. That was basically right after I said, okay, YouTube needs to take a break. Unfortunately. But as you can see, I was quite busy during that time. I sketched a lot. Like each day... this one, I think I painted a sketch like around like 3 in the morning when I couldn't sleep and basically went straight into flow state. I really like this face, I think it's one of my better ones. Even if the hair is like only vaguely, visible. But still. So that's like the progress that I did with sketches. And still, it's still not perfect. A lot of faces, like for example here, like that's me. Didn't go so well, right? But see there, you're sketching in phases. What do you mean phases? Like from the rough blocking to the details, or what do you mean? And like then the shading? What do you mean phases? But yeah, well, as you can see here, this still wasn't foolproof. It really just came down to more and more practice. You would do some more sketching when you wanted something more out of each part, like the eyes and then the chin and the hair, etc. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's pretty much. But in overall, I tried to keep it like a very rough shapes first, and then do more general sketching afterwards. Do I have like a sketch? You'd stop painting in and start sketching mid-project? Oh, yes. Yes, I definitely did do that. Once the main parts of a head were like finished, I just stopped doing that. That's one I did more recently. I think I did this on Monday this week. So let's see if I learned anything. I really heavily relied on the reference here, I think. A little bit of cheating here. But yeah, main thing is like I do a lot more sketching beforehand before rendering, and I feel like this helps to keep the face more contained instead of just going willy-nilly. I feel like if I model too much, the face basically melts a little bit because the features are not that clear from the get-go. And here are a few sketches of like pictures where I only did the sketch because the sketching I feel like already looked good enough. It actually imported the reference there. Though, now my only worry is that, okay, I kind of know how I do want to do it digitally. The question is, can I do this in like classical arts, like with a pencil on paper, right, or on canvas? Because that's where the actual diploma will take place. So that's the next thing I gotta work on. The better you define your shapes, the easier it is to create values. Then tones become super easy. Yeah, you're 100% correct with that. And now with the like this like what is Schraffur auf in English? With like this sketchy, sketching in the values here, and like being more straightforward with the volume, I think definitely helps. I mean, here in these parts I skipped the rendering altogether because for the thing that I wanted to, for what I wanted it to be, I already got there very quickly with the sketch already. And yeah, those are all pictures that were like in the same day. Of course, I still have the problem, the hatching. Bingo, thank you. My hatching definitely evolved. It's a lot more controlled. Though, as you can see here, the guy doesn't really look like the picture. Maybe I was tired then already. I don't know. I just liked it as a standalone, like he still looked like nice. But that's of course not good enough, right? If I want to have my characters to be recognizable again. So that's where like character studies like this come in, where I had like over here I had a picture where I worked, where I started, made a face study, then did that again, but this time with the rendering, then got the shapes in like a rough order to have like always the same template, and then from from there I did the actual face for the character. This is where I ended up with now, for like one of my soldier characters, for one of my officer characters. I'm not quite sure if I like this, because he is supposed to be basically a fallen officer, an officer fallen from grace, who is now a little bit of a drunkard and like basically scraping the bottom of the barrel already. So I feel like based on this sketch, I'm not too happy, but I just kept going basically for now. And then we came to the characters themselves. Speaking about the soldier, this is where we are at now, for example. Just don't turn into a Toriyama, where every face is the same but with different hair. Nah, that wouldn't happen to me. Thankfully, that's not the case. I'll try to... It's very easy to get there, though, right? Boy eyes and girl eyes, then hair to the character? Nah. I won't pull an Overwatch where every female character has the same facial structure, basically. But yeah, this character, for example, let's see if I can get the data. How long did I spend on this? Okay, 5 hours? No, it's actually not too bad. 5 hours of just work time? Really? Okay. I mean, there's a lot of invisible conceptualizing that you can't see here. But yeah, Toriyama was Dragon Ball. Ah, that makes sense. Okay. I recognize the name. I didn't know where to put it, though. Though, you know. Here also I want to know how everything is constructed. So, for example, here with the sword, you know, the way he's carrying his great sword, I really took care that you can see how he has it in the sheath, basically, and how the belts would go to keep it in place, only to cover it up with his pack and, like, his backpack and sleeping bag, basically. So yeah, other shortcuts as well where I wasn't sure, like, okay, I want to have a design on his shoulder pad, I just don't know what to put there yet, right? So that's a placeholder. But yeah, that was basically the next stage, designing the characters, designing zum Beispiel, for example, the elven character that I wanted there to be, and also trying to not be too cliche with my designs. That was also a big hurdle. And then I spent a lot of time on the antagonist as well, like the Count, the Elector Count Goslar. He's also the only one who got a proper, like, character pose sketch as well. I don't know, I just really put some time into him. I also sketched his throne room and everything. So yeah. What I found interesting since starting to learn knitting is that it's a technology. It's like smithing and tanning, but nowhere in any major fantasy works is there any information on where the fabrics come from. You hear about the smiths and the bowers, but never any weavers. That's a good point, yeah. Maybe because people... I mean, knitting is, and like weaving is rather involved process, not? Like you have to have the sheep, then you have to shear the wool, then you have to spin the wool into yarn. But yeah, a lack of sheep. You're right. The benefits of having digital media layers save you so much time conceptualizing elements. Oh yeah, definitely. And I can just, you know, copy something and work on the copy. And if I don't like it, I can just turn back to the original and then work from there again, right? But yeah. A lot of fun was doing this, like a height chart, basically, to see how tall, who's how tall. That's like the main core of heroes I have so far. So 4 in total. A small, like, vagabond, the trusty officer, our hedge knight character. It's not really called a hedge knight because I think George R.R. Martin owns that term. I just don't know how else to describe him. And then the elven character. So I think as far as concept art goes, I feel like this is one of the most professional sketches I've ever put out. I feel really cool, we're very proud about this one. It might be because the smith is rarely also the miner and the tanner is rarely the hunter, but the weaver is often also the shepherd. That's a good point, yeah. But rarely do we see that. We only see them as shepherd, you know, herding the herd, right? You rarely see them also weaving and stuff. I mean, weaving, for example, like, or spinning the yarn was also a process that a lot of people did in their home. Even like later in the industrialization, people had like these little spinning wheels in their home where the women could earn a little bit of money on the side. It rarely got to like a proper profession, right? The spinning, I feel like the spinning of yarn always happened on the side. And weavers as well. A lot of people wove their own cloth. I feel like I'm fairly certain about that. Fairly certain. Not an expert though. What was also very fun, like, was this random troll I designed because, you know, trying to keep my story a little bit more classical. I wanted them to fight a troll on a bridge very early on. I don't know, I just liked the image of that. And so I designed a troll more according to like Norse mythology. With like this, with like, okay, the tusks are my touch, but like this weird nose. My only problem with him though is I feel like he looks like a Minecraft villager. You know, with his nose, especially with like the brown tone and the very blocky head. I don't know how to feel about that, so I feel like I need to put a little bit more time into that design. But yeah, World War II sock naked and stuff is also wild to read about. Oh, yeah, really? Okay. I'll give that a read then. Never really thought much about that. And as his weapon, I thought like maybe he one of the caravans or one of the wagons he attacked, he just ripped off the steering axle and has like this wildly flailing weapon with the wheels still attached to the axle, as you can see here then on the bridge. That is a Minecraft villager. Yeah, 100%. That's what he reminds me of. Like, there still wasn't any standardization, but Uncle Sam needed socks for the troops. So there were programs to knit socks, but it was the Wild West about what socks you'd get. I guess, yeah. It's very interesting when I write, like, my stories, I'd like them to be fairly accurate, because I feel like actual historical medieval life is rarely portrayed properly. So I try to do a lot of research and reading. In a rather tight time frame, though. So sometimes I'm rather unsure about stuff. But yeah, you're just using the busted wearing as a club, love it. Perfect, thank you. That's basically the idea, because I feel like the regular club is a little bit too cliche, and personally I never really understood where they'd get a club like that from anyways, or how they'd fashion it properly. So I was like, okay, what would he get access to? Oh yeah, probably like this stuff, right? That was just on the side though. And then, once all the characters were somewhat done, I got to the design of the book cover. And at the end of the day, this is what I ended up with. So originally, hang on, I have this in my presentation as well, hang on. Let me pull that up. All of our assignments have to be handed in as like a PDF presentation of like explanation and stuff like that. So originally my inspiration came from like the Black Library covers. For example, here the Iron Kingdom with like the characters and there's a lot going on. I really like the composition each time. I feel like they look great. And that's basically what I wanted to do for my book cover. So here's the first sketch with like the heroes in the foreground, the antagonist looming over them, and then, other characters, like the main characters in the foreground, and then like other scenes from the book, just, sprinkled in there. Like, they meet an elf in the forest, they escape a burning ship and stuff like that. And then I talked about the character design process, because, I had to have a reason why I only have one book cover and not a couple. And yeah, that's basically where I ended up then. And then of course with a mock-up as well. That's as far as the book cover goes. I'm still quite happy that I finally got it done. Unfortunately, though, it isn't exactly what I would like to have. I feel like it's a solid start. It's a solid concept. But I feel like I'd rather put some more effort into it to work with a less blunt imagery and rather go with something more, you know, what's the right word for it? More metaphorical, I guess? So something with a little bit more, like with some subtle imagery woven into the way that the characters position themselves and stuff. Loads of progress since I last saw any. You're killing it, mate. Well, thank you very much. I try to put a lot of time into it, and what I'm doing now basically are sketches from like different landscapes. So I started designing, for example, the town they wanted to go to in like the first act of the book. And this was basically like my first idea. And it felt very, very rough and unnatural. So the next thing I did was like, I sketched some landscapes from like reference pictures. Tried to get a feel for it. Tried to, you know, get an idea. Illegally distinct Minas Tirith? Oh no. You half doxed yourself with the cover? I mean, fair enough, right? If the book ever hits the shelves, you guys will know my full name. Can't do anything about that. But yeah. I was getting nervous as well, not gonna lie. But yeah. That's of course not what I'm trying to do. But I guess. That's the thing, the cities need some more flavor as well. Everything needs a little bit more flavor, and that's what I like about the Amazing Digital Circus. It's just so different to what I'm used to seeing in like any kind of media, really, that that it really actually worked in inspiring me to try out something else, try to be a bit more creative and fantastical about it. Think a bit more outside the box, and even though I haven't really translated that into many of my character designs or like concepts at all really so far, it definitely helped shape some of the rather contentious plot points that I have had. And let's see, for example, here you can see the reference image to the sketch that I did then for that. It's never meant to be like 100% one-on-one. But, you know, just to get a rough idea of the lay of the land and perspective and stuff. Especially cloud work. Hang on, for the clouds I actually photographed from right outside my house, so I want to make sure that the reference is not there. Trying to be careful about it, you know. Yeah, for example, like, how do clouds work? How does light reflect off of it? Stuff like that. Because I feel like I can do a lot with lighting and environment to really make my pictures pop, right? Having not Mary Sue characters is a good enough influence already. I mean, fair enough, right? That's a thing though as well. That was a very fun thing that I encountered while writing. I had put so much effort into every character, you know, in itself, like on their own, that I completely forgot to consider how they would work in like a group dynamic, right? As they are based loosely on a lot of the LARP characters that I encountered and had in my own group as well. I never really put much thought into a group dynamic because I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. We work as a group. You know, that's kind of how it would go. But yeah, we already know one another for like 10 years or something from school and stuff. So, and these characters have basically met up. They're only, like, Hinge is Valorous, the main character. So yeah, but they don't know one another, and they wouldn't really like one another, right? So that's all the stuff. Plot armor is another thing, but being able to do anything and everything with expertise is bad. Yeah, that's the thing as well, though. I have pretty much the opposite of a Mary Sue character. All my characters suck a little bit. Especially the main character, I've come to realize, like, trying to figure out the logic of what he's doing, like, really, apart from his drive, there's not much rationale behind it. And that, needs to change. I need to give him some more ideas. Yeah, at the same time, I mean, Frodo didn't know either what he was doing, and that worked perfectly fine. He was just figuring it out. So, I don't know. It's a little bit of a dance. Need to see what I want to do. But, yeah. I can share a drawing of mine too, if time allows it. Yep, I'm about to wrap up. If you can put it in Stream Parade. Sure. But yeah. I hope my rambling was a little bit more coherent than it appears to me. Sometimes when I go on these tangents, I just get lost in the sauce. Frodo was a character that failed successfully at every turn. Oh yeah. And much like Frodo, the main character also has like a supporting cast. Or Luffy even, right? Like at least Luffy knows some things. But at the very beginning of his journey, every character around him was a lot more competent than he was. He was just, a lot of the time, very lucky. And driven. And confident. And that was enough to propel him forwards, right? But he wasn't like a tactical genius or anything. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to say where the inspiration comes from. Oh yeah, so that's the advertisement situation you guys are facing, huh? 1 from 3. See, that is very weird because, full disclosure, I do have monetization on my streams because, as Steinrich put it, the things are getting advertisements either way if I do it, like, or not. But I have specifically set it to a mode where I put in the advertisements, so you guys don't get anything during the stream. Only afterwards when it becomes a VOD. At first, Luffy just wanted the thing bad enough to inspire people to watch him try. I mean, yeah, sure. I think that's a great way to put it, yeah. Valeris is actually working on a very similar basis, but a lot of characters don't really have too much... Like, it's very hard to figure out sometimes what the incentive of a character actually is. Like, I know what the character wants for himself, but why would you think that Valeris would be the best way of achieving that goal, right? So yeah, it's like nuances like these that that definitely made me stumble on my writing. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. I'll look more into that. Maybe my settings were wrong. Let's go. Base was not done by me, talented guy. Ah, nah. Alright. What character are we looking at here, Inquisitor? Enlighten us. That's a nice character design, though. That's the thing, because I do want my characters to stay a lot less fantastical and rather have the Lord of the Rings approach to fantasy and the Middle Ages, you know, be a bit more realistic with it. I sometimes feel like I'm a lot more hamstrung, or rather I'm like in this box thinking. And my main challenge is to get outside the box. Qulathis, a VTuber, it's basically fan art. Alright, okay. Dang, that's a great design for the VTuber, god damn. So these were all from you. So this is the base, which is not done by you, but this stuff is. I think that's really good. Did you do all that? Like to do that stuff to train skills? I mean, yeah, sure. It's quite nice. It's pretty much the same that I do also, as well. It's some very good line art here. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Very creative. Very creative. Hell yeah, the little lamp. The little lamp on the little lamp. Lunchtime here for me? Fair enough. It's almost... It's time for me to end the stream as well. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Inquisitor. Where are all the, like, the little extras? They're missing in the fully rendered pic. Good stream and good luck, Mr. Brink. Thank you very much. Guys, this one definitely was sprinkled with a lot more tangents than I would have maybe liked. But, you know, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again rather soon. But as I've hopefully somewhat demonstrated, I'm a quite busy man outside of YouTube. Full pick was a proof of concept. Oh, right. Okay, I see. Well, we'll watch your career with great interest. Alright, guys. In terms of painting, we did actually, next to everything else, get quite a lot of painting done. Dagnai is at least, you know, with his done with his base colors. He now needs only the highlights and like some lighting and stuff. And Qulathis, I mean, you know, also is fairly far. With all the breaks we had, I don't think that I'm too far off of my original estimation that each character's base should take around like an hour. So yeah, I think we did good. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun painting, a lot of fun talking to you guys, and I hope that you guys had a lot of fun watching. Rice. Rice needs a couple of stuff. I've got the messages. And yeah, apart from that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks to all the people who participated in the chat. It always makes my job, my time here so much more entertaining and so much easier as well. And yeah, have a good evening, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.